And we're back live for the first time in forever. Oh my God, it's been so long.
Did you take that special mind toxin that makes you forget things really quickly?
Yes,
Oh, I'm glad you remember that.
I'm just assuming that's what I did, so I'm just confirming what you said
Hmm.
so I don't sound stupid.
Yes, that would be a real problem, wouldn't
Would be.
it? Hmm.
Welcome back, guys.
Hello! Episode what are we in? 8? Goodness! Has the
We
journey
are.
been and gone? Kind of?
Has the what been gone?
The journey of the
Ah,
season.
no, I don't think so.
Does it feel like 8 weeks? I'm trying. Well, 7 weeks. They combined two. Does it feel like seven
It
weeks?
doesn't.
No.
Doesn't.
Or is that just because time passes quicker?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but it's annoying. It doesn't feel like it's been on very long, but it also feels like we've been doing this forever now.
There's a
So it's a,
couple of episodes we've done, yes.
yeah. Yes, big LORPA energy, anyone. Yes, Anton.
Oh dear. But Stuart, I asked a poll actually a while ago, and I want to know what the results are. So
Hmm. Well,
let us
27
know.
votes. The poll was, what do you think of this episode? Loved it, liked it, it was okay, meh, it's fine, or I did not like it. The winner is, well, it's a tie. Loved it, and it was okay, meh, it's fine, with 30% each. Liked it, 22%, and did not like it at 19.
That is, if you combine the likes and dislikes, incredibly even, with just different slight
Mhm.
variations of how much. Interesting. Right, I'm gonna get showing so we can get talking because this has got some things. But as always, guys,
It's impossible to.
Stuart will give his spiel in a second. Let us know what you thought. Straight over super chats to make us say things and delay what we're saying and just give us some thoughts. I'll jump into it. But I'll see you in a second.
Okay. 34 people here, 13 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell icon to all so you don't miss edited content and lives like this where you can hang out with us and talk to us about Star Trek in real time. Also, there is a join button down there on YouTube. Click that. You can see the options for joining us on a monthly basis. It really helps us out immensely, and we appreciate all of it. So if you can, please do. Or if you don't want to join on YouTube here, you can head over to Patreon/Trekyards as another way to support us. Some people do both, and we really appreciate that. And you guys are awesome. So look at your options and see what you can do. Just liking the video, sharing the videos around, talking about Trekyards, joining us for the community chats. These are all fun things that help out the channel. So please do whatever you can, and we appreciate that. That being said, there's links down below in the description of every video. Links to one is the Teespring and the other is the TeePublic stores. Check those out. There's some cool Trekyards merch as well as other stuff. And let us know what you guys are interested in over there by purchasing something. Click the link, check it out, and add stuff to your cart. We would appreciate that also. We'll get to the super chats here in just a minute once Sam is back from sharing. But yeah, super chat in and let us know your thoughts on this episode. We will read them all, of course, and you get your opinions out there. So,
Yeah.
all right, we'll jump right into the super chats right
All
away.
right. What are people saying?
Uh, Samantha May Julius. I guess Olivia's changed her name. To 10 super chats in $10.
Well, there's two accounts. One says Olivia, one says Samantha.
They
Two
both say
accounts?
Samantha on my screen.
First one says Olivia. Must have been. As in,
It
like,
does in the side, but not in the main.
interesting. Explain yourself. Unless you've
Anyway,
changed that.
$10.
Hmm.
In order to make this review better, a few of the mods will take DNA from Sam and we will become full Sams. Even though Sam is only half a Sam, we are 4.5 Sams.
There's logic behind the absolute madness.
Mhm. And
Not
then
bad.
Samantha Julius throws in $2. I can feel the power of Sam taking hold.
Here's the hell. I mean, I have got kind of pikes down. I could probably, if I gelled this, I could probably get it, you know,
Hmm.
a decent chunk higher.
And Samantha Julius again, $5. All of a sudden, I feel English, and I have a hankering for beans. Beans on toast, yes. Very
Yeah,
good.
I don't
Very
really
good.
have hankerings for beans, but they're always good. And if you've got literally nothing else to eat, then bit of toast, bit of butter, beans in a
Hmm.
tin that don't go off really. It's an oddly satisfying meal.
It is.
But they changed recipe like 7 years ago, and then they either reset it or just made it better again like 4 years ago. But it was a dark time. I couldn't have beans on toast. It was not like, I mean, I have it maybe once or twice a year, but it's very good to know. So vote the
Perfect.
poll. Vote the poll. I want to know.
Ray Rex, £2. This episode was not logical.
Mm.
And Fat Produce,
Mm.
$2. I loved the post credit scene. Wonderful fun. Yeah, and even the intro with the Vulcan Pike was kind of hilarious. Although somebody pointed out on my live last night that Pike wasn't really emulating Vulcan so much as Coneheads. Because if you watch his speech pattern or listen to his speech pattern, it's very Coneheadish. And I didn't catch that, but it's absolutely correct.
Well, I did
But it's
say he
still pretty
was,
good.
quite un-Vulcan-y, but the spectrum is quite broad, right?
Yep.
All right. So as we always do, Stuart, we've reviewed this. We've talked about other things. Well, this episode about other
And we
things.
get cut off by Threefold Path with £10.
Oh,
That's what we always do.
thanks so much.
I feel like there was just too much going on. I would have preferred if La'an was the only one who was stuck as a Vulcan slash Romulan,
Mm.
and they had just focused on that story. Would have been way more heavier of an episode then. I kind of like the lightness of the episode as it
Mm.
was. So, but yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Sorry. What do we do all the
So,
time? I don't even.
Stuart,
Yes, that's
we
my
do
name.
a review. We talk about it. You talk about it with people's. You get reactions. We may or may not read other people's reviews on other mediums. I have not. This is just I've just gone by a couple of comments. What do you think of this episode? And more importantly, the second and or third watch. How do you feel now? I'm very intrigued.
Well, I really love this episode. First time watching it. And upon subsequent rewatches, it actually gets better for me. It's a very fun, lighthearted episode in general, and I love when they get to play against type. Like I think Anson Mount, he was hilarious to me in this episode. Um, Probably what he was going for with his delivery, and I think it worked. But yeah, I think there's I don't understand the division on this one. Like, it's just a fun episode. Some people absolutely despise it, and I don't quite get why. So I don't know. Maybe that'll come to light when we review it today, but I've enjoyed it. I've watched it 3 times now. I think it's great. It is definitely put a smile on my face and had a few laughs during it. So I appreciate it for that. And pretty much everybody is around except for Sam Kirk, which I would have liked to have seen Sam Kirk a little bit in this, but it's fine that he's not there. Even having Kirk return and hang out with Scotty was great. So everybody got like something cool to do, really. And even Pelia was kind of funny in this. I don't know why she was doing high fives at the beginning. She was just in a mood that day. But again, I thought that was kind of funny. And I mean, it's got somebody that's 5,000 years old on your ship. You're going to have to kind of go with the flow, I think, with her. So I think it worked out fairly well. And yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I don't know why people are so down on it. So maybe I'll learn that during the course of this review.
Can you express a couple of things people have said? Just
No,
oh, okay.
just there's some in the chat. There's some on screen or on Facebook. It's like the worst episode. How can somebody was being really melodramatic and said, well, out of all the Star Trek episodes I've ever seen, this is by hands down the worst episode of Star Trek ever. And somebody in the chat or in the comments said, that's a little melodramatic, isn't it? But you do you. And the guy was all defensive and he's like, fine, I will do me.
Hey, he might have only seen 6 Star Trek episodes, right?
No, it's somebody I know that's a big Star Trek fan, so it's
Oh,
kind of funny.
because as I always say, Discovery Season 1 is better than every episode of Discovery Season 1. Shades of Grey is better than Shades of Grey. The list could go on. I just potentially see a comment.
I'm just trying to see the ones in the chat here. There was a few people that were Da, 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 da. Where? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I can't find them right now, but there's some.
Oh, Tim, I honestly think Threshold and These Are the Voyages have Emmys compared to this. I mean, Threshold
Yeah.
and Paris' acting is phenomenal until the last third. That is a very good episode until it isn't. And the
Hmm.
acting is absolutely excellent. These are the Voyages. I mean, it's there. It
Yeah.
does less. It's less interesting than this for sure.
Uh, yeah. We'll probably see a few in here, but yeah, the comments are like, again, it's kind of like last week. There's no middle ground. It's like you either love it or you hated it. And I don't understand why anybody would hate this one because it was just such a fun ride. And it wasn't as bad as I anticipated going into it. Because seeing the clip, I was like, oh, how are they going to do this? I thought it might be a little bit more serious and kind of not not be good. But I was really satisfied. Like I came out of it with the satisfaction. Like I said, a smile on my face. I didn't expect this episode to be this way, and it was fun. I don't know why everybody has to take things so seriously.
And Wanda says, I think this is the first Trek podcast I've seen that feels positive about this episode. Web show, not podcast. We have done a podcast. Haven't done podcasts in like 6 or 7 years. Small thing, but just saying. Really? Because we're normally on the slightly more critical side of things because we like the canon, we like the lore, we like the filmic stuff. So we're normally more critical because
But we point out the good and the bad. We don't lean to one side like a lot of the channels
no,
do.
yeah, it helps if there's little bad, etc., etc. Interesting. Well, vote in the poll. Let us know what you think. I mean, the poll is saying lots of people liked in the poll, so I'd love to get at least 50 votes, etc.
Well, what about you, Sam? What did you think? And what did you think
Hello.
on rewatch?
Yes, unless we're interrupted once again.
We have been Gmon 78, 2 pounds. How did the serum braid Uhura's hair? Not just Uhura's, but everybody's was like altered. I made the joke that there was a hairdresser lying on the floor. So when they all collapsed, he quickly like because yeah, that's not how DNA works. But
I like
Ray
science.
Ricks, right? Ray Ricks, 5 pounds. My issue with this is the biological essentialism. Logic is a whatever discipline, not biologically encoded. Giving what I do, that was annoying. Yes, but they do make a point of while they're changing to say emotion's so strong, like leaning into that Vulcans have such strong emotions. I think there is a line of dialogue too that says because it was derived from Spock, some of that knowledge would be passed over. That's something that I can easily just brush aside because otherwise, that's one of the fears I had about this episode was that they lean into the more emotional aspects and have people like freaking out or be rageful or
Hmm.
all lovey-dovey chasing people. I thought it was going to be that kind of shit because they became Vulcan, didn't have the backing behind them
Hmm.
of reeling that in logically. Like I assume they'd start out logical and start to kind of fall apart as far as that goes. I'm glad that wasn't the case because I don't want to see that. I just like that. I like the way they did it. I get that people are upset about that, but I think it worked. I don't know. I didn't want to see them like all freaking out about their emotions, honestly.
I mean, depends how it's handled, right?
Yeah.
As with anything.
Um, Samantha Julius throws in $2. My hair now looks like a tribble rusted in there. Wow.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. What were you saying, Stuart, before we were so kindly interrupted?
Tell me what you thought about the episode and
Ah.
after having rewatched it.
Yes, so this episode, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it both times. I think I enjoyed it more the second time because the first time I was expecting twists and turns. The second time I knew there was no twists and turns. It was just about the individual scenes and the fun ride. So I could appreciate the first third more because I knew it was going nowhere in particular. So I could just enjoy the ride. My analogy the first time was, pardon me, was that it's like a roller coaster where it starts and then it just gets to a certain point mid track and it just stays level for the whole episode until right at the end and it has a little lip and then down. So it's just a gentle not meander, it's a gentle ride of pace. So, and even the music is so just baseline comedy,
Yeah.
you know, Hallmark movie fun but the acting's good, the characters are interesting, it's all Trekkie stuff, so that, carries it. Second time, of course, if you're not expecting the roller coaster to be a roller coaster, you're just expecting a gondola ride, you can appreciate it more because it's never going to increase the pace. It's never going anywhere very fast or very interesting. But for a show, for a modernistic trope of Star Trek, right, where Discovery had like 3 characters and then 9 appliances who are characters, where we still know less about Bryce than about anyone else in this show, whatever. They were meaningless. Picard season 1, Elnor got like all the characters were so flat and nothing, and then thrown away. In this, every character felt like meant something, and they all had individual chemistries with individual people. We had a certain character dialogue. The actors all gave them something extra. We had an absolute, Corby and Kirk both turned up for short amounts of time, but both were meaningful and interesting, even short. It's an insane ensemble cast. Once again, Ortega's got basically nothing, but that's because we're now looking for it. So she's being slightly abused, I think, in the lack of content. But 12 cast this episode to do stuff with, and relatively they did. It was kind of the Avengers of like the amount of people. You normally have like an episode where you have some bridge scenes and they say yes captain, and then you cut down to the planet and you got 3 away team. But there's a lot of characters to continue. So that I did a very, very good job on. Now, yes, that's another review. The basic premise is flawed, and the logic is flawed, and the science is flawed, and the understanding of Vulcans feels flawed. Have you seen Discovery Season 1? Have you seen Discovery Season 2? Have you seen Picard Season 1? Have you seen Picard Season 2? The line of modern Trek logic is so much lower than it used to be. So this is not anything different to them, but now got good characters, good acting, good sets, good music. Like all those things are now done so well that even if the logical breakageness of it, they embrace it, they acknowledge it, we skip past it and just do fun stuff with it. Of course it's silly, of course it doesn't make a lot of sense, even though he's vaguely trying to explain it with the Spock line. But it's so early in the comment in the episode that therefore you just move through it. And I really enjoyed the Romulan stuff a lot. I enjoyed Chapel's vibe a lot. I mostly enjoyed Uhura. Pike didn't love particularly because it was just a very odd choice. I wonder if the director felt a bit strong-fisted by or strong-handed by him being in theory the star. So he wanted to go that way. I can't imagine that was the director's choice. That was Anson's choice to try something. She probably didn't want to say no. It might have been good on the day, but for me, it didn't work in any particular way. I'd like to see him be just a good Captain Vulcan and do that versus what he did. But 3 out of 4 ain't bad, right? And 3.5, because Ethan, superb in this episode. Even better second watch. He has so many... See the difference of how much human he's putting in, but not... Across the board, he's fantastic. And we're lucky to have him because he keeps doing a great job. So yeah, I liked it. And a bit more second time, but in a different way.
Before we get to Ray's next super chat, I do want to say one thing. This adds a layer of context for me to TOS Amok Time, where Chapel makes Spock a bowl of Plomex soup, shows it to Kirk and McCoy in the corridor, and takes it into Spock's quarters. Next thing you know, the door flies open, and the soup flies out the door, it hits the wall. And it's like, he yells, if I want anything from you, I'd ask. And they should add a little line of ADR in there. And your soup sucks. Because it's unsatisfactory because of this episode. So I just thinking that he
learned his lesson
in the grips of Pon farr, but also the fact he just knows her soup is not good, unless she's improved the recipe by then, which is very likely.
She's got time.
But anyway,
and someone in the chat says, let's see, where did they get the Lurper from? I mean, the same place they got the costumes from. They could make it then and there, or Spock had some stuff lying around in the storage closet. I mean, they make stuff all the time. A Lurper is no harder than the clothes, so And yes, it would have been nice if they all just looked like themselves with the ears, and then said, "Oh, we feel uncomfortable." Go away, and next scene all look different because their volcanism has determined their style was wrong. It was a bad choice to have him suddenly become in costume, in a makeup and hair, because it's as ridiculous as episode 1 when they changed the face. It's as ridiculous as it really is kind of that thing where in Voyager there's an episode where they get fully assimilated, and then in the episode Jeremy has her hair back.
Yeah,
it's dumb, but there's a little bit of a time gap. If there was a scene where the EMH walks up to Janeway with a bald cap, injects her. As he walks away to put the thing down on the wall, come back, we see it go. That would have been ridiculous, but the way they frame it's not quite that. So they could have done it better with a single cut. And it would have been great actually to see. I mean, her especially with a big hair, be in her quarters, be like, this will not
Illogical.
suffice. And then she does it, and it's like, wow, like that would have been a really fun moment.
Yeah.
But they went for the gimmick and the fun. That's why you can't do a show as canon, right? Like literally canon, because stuff like this can't happen. It's ridiculous. Just like the ship, like
Yeah.
it's not trying to be visual canon, and they keep doing so. It can't lower decks. So you can argue a little bit, like all the stuff obviously can't happen. Blah.
Yeah. But Ray Ricks throws in 10 pounds.
Oh,
Essentially, it was Kulinar in a hyperspray. They can perform mind melds, which makes no sense. Would have made more sense if Spock had to mind meld to calm their emotions. Would have made more sense. I agree. If Spock had mind melded with each of them afterwards, or you just see the last one
yeah.
that he's doing to like calm them down, I think that would have solved a lot of people's problems. I agree. I also agree about the mind meld thing. Uhura just innately knowing how to do it and not like give her boyfriend a full like lobotomy, just messing up his synaptic pathways. I do bring that up in the edited review we did yesterday. But yeah, I think the mind meld thing would have been a good solution to the problem and really have quelled a lot of people's, you know, problems with this episode. So I agree with you, Ray.
Oh, I think her mind melding the guy was dumb. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an upper dumb. Like
It's funny.
Well, that's the thing. I assumed the way they framed it, she got him injected, and then hiding his ears with his hair because his hair didn't change. And the moment when he like brushes out his hair and the ears, because they didn't need, you know what I mean? I wished like that would have been really funny actually if, because they're so strong characters, they actually convince others to become Vulcans, even though knowing the cure's not working yet. And so like the crew gets more and more Vulcan as people get convinced. I could see that being kind of a funny gag. But the fact is, my Melda was like, of course she can't do that.
Yeah.
And if she is fully Vulcan by it, then you open loads of can of worms. I mean, every time in Voyager you needed a mind meld, just inject anybody with this, they become Vulcan instantly, can instantly do the thing. You know, if I needed a fan film, someone to be a Vulcan for one scene, okay, hey, I'm a full Vulcan and no issue. Of course it's ridiculous and we acknowledge, but again, no worse than a lot of Discovery stuff, and people watch that.
Yep.
No, not happily, but you know.
Gmon78 throws in
Hey,
5 pounds.
good to see you.
I think the constant inclusion of Kirk is a mistake. Pike should be allowed to shine in his own show. I'm not keen on the Kirk actor either. I think Paul Wesley's great. I wasn't convinced at first when he first showed up, but this episode he really felt like a young Kirk to me, and yeah, I think having him here is definitely a touchstone. They don't need to use him so much, but I'm glad they have such a good actor when they do use him. So yeah, he's grown on me quite a bit.
Yeah, my only issue is that they are so far away in deep space that there's no Vulcans in range, and yet Farragut happens to be being repaired at a dry dock space dock nearby, and close enough for him to beam over, which implies either they're literally in range or a shuttle. Both don't make sense because you wouldn't beam from a shuttle. I guess he could be on the planet, but then he would also know you'd think he would talk to his brother. Yeah, that was dumb. Because space is rather vast, but the fact they don't care about time or space means, oh yeah, it's a 9-week trip to this planet. We'll go see my brother, and it takes just whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there are issues with it, but overall, I can overlook a lot of them just for the sake of pacing and.
Well, it's what we said again for Discovery. If the episode is a high quality episode and it's fun, it's entertaining, like those, at least if you get those things right,
Yes.
we can say, that bit doesn't make sense, but we can enjoy the episode, and that's what this show kind of is. The spectrum of, but can you still enjoy it because all the other stuff is so well, and you know they mean well by it, right? All this stuff with Vulcans, the stereotypical stuff, they mean well. It's not trying to be offensive, unlike Discovery, where again, you're really making fun of people, you're really antagonizing things, right? This is all meant in good faith, in good spirit, right? It's you know, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So we start with a beautiful space shot and a beautiful bit of music. They are nailing it with space shots this season. proper TOS vibes. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
And Anton Smith says, I would have liked to learn why Pelia was not impacted by the Vulcan transformation serum. She was Atlanthonite. This was developed not with her in mind. So anyway. Oh, Ray Ricks, 10 pounds. On the plus side, the idea of the Vulcan DNA highlighting her augment DNA was fun. Although they are saying the Vulcans that left in the wandering become Romulans were genetic deviants. Well, they might have messed with some augment stuff, maybe. You don't know. I mean, we do see the forehead ridges in TNG. It might explain those a little bit, but
Well, as with a lot of Stranger Worlds, it's implied potential.
Mhm.
Because Vulcans and Romans are just the same. It's culture that's different. That's it. Until TNG they get modified. But like just structurally, that's that. So either this is them giving a hint that the original Romulans were slightly altered to be more something or other back in the day, and that's why they went off, which would be fine, makes sense. Or they are just more predisposed to be arrogant because that's just, that everyone's different, right? Some people are very good at swimming, some people are good at, they're just predisposed things we happen to be. It's a lottery, right? And if enough people of the lottery come together, it's like why you can have fan clubs for very niche things in the world, because now the internet draws us together. So if you can get 10,000 of like-minded people together, or who are all a bit more aggressive, whatever, and then and you all genetically breed over the course of hundreds of years, guess what? You got a variant of the culture.
Yeah. I just like that it tied in the augment virus with the, more ambition, more aggressive, and just made sense for her for those to be enhanced in her. Yeah.
It was a really great end. I like, because first time you don't know she's being Romulan, because why would you? That's not what they're telling you. Second time, it's fun to see that from second one.
Oh, I got it almost right away that she was very Romulan, like with the way she was speaking.
But Romulan like versus pretty much
Yeah.
a Romulan. There's a subtle difference, but second time you can see it more bluntly. So we start off with finally back. Not that I love the set or anything, but finally back in the LED walls, edge of the ship walls, which you can still, are blatantly walls because the black levels are wrong. It always bothers me because they can't really do that. If they made space too black, it just disappear. But you can tell it's a low resolution script, relatively speaking. But having a chat, having some chill time, good bit of banter, kind of. A lot of eye makeup. Yeah, never bitch at me about makeup in Star Trek, because these women love their black eyeliner. They are made up to everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the conversation is, why aren't you going on shore leave? Do you know somebody on Permanente 3 that you don't want to... Yeah, exactly. And then Spock stops by and it's like, no, get out of here. I thought it was just because they're having a girl talk, but Una does say, what's going on with you two? And I love the Spock sitting there eating a salad with like one. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, these early scenes, everything is connected. Every single scene.
Yeah.
Like fully, so there's a lot more value second watch, which is great, But yeah, I love Spock coming in. In most TV shows, this would be like, oh no, relationship problems, drama. But Spock would take offense to this.
No.
So that's it. It's great. And she's reacting. It's weird, but don't question his superior officer. He wants a secret debrief in the middle of mess hall. It's like, okay, but it's fine. Like it's a fun. Yeah, it's a good little scene. It's dumb, but it's good, and I like Spock because he wants to have lunch with his girlfriend because they say they're dating. That's nice. That's him making an active choice to want to do that, right? Doesn't have to. I like it.
And Samantha Julia throws in $2 and says, don't worry, I'm working on 6 Trek films at once.
Only 6. Get your ass in gear, Jesus.
I guess I should call her Sam Julius because, it's short for Samantha.
And why not no Stargate or Doctor Who? No. Or Star Wars? Stuart said one of them.
So yeah, this is setting something up which will pay off later. And then we get the scene with Patel and Pike. Glad Patel's back.
Good actress in this.
Yeah. But talking about not wanting to go camping, and she's got to meet up with her old boss, happens to be a Vulcan.
Happens to be here
and
as
Pike's
well.
like,
Lucky.
I don't like that guy. You don't like that guy. Why do we care? He's like, no, I want to get back to work. If I can't be a captain of a starship, I can at least work at the judicial branch of Starfleet,
And I love
which is
that as
great.
a slight sidestep. It's like, yeah, that's yeah, 100%. Either desk bound or yeah, that's great. Good option.
Hmm. And then we got an urgent message from the Vulcans. And it's like, the Vulcans, what?
And it's not
Yeah.
it's not it's not like Admiral something or Chancellor something. The Vulcans. The way they frame it, slightly ominous, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit, Also to know, and they've done a really good job at this actually, considering the amount of shit they're trying to cram in. Because you can't say this is filler, because we're containing so many plot lines. Like it's a little bit of time, but she's now punching harder. She's now got enhanced strength, so much so that he's actively surprised. So she's now a stronger human because of the Gorn augment DNA. Blah. And later they say she's enthusiastic, extra energy. So she's fine, but she's So that might come into play later.
Mm. And Sam Julius throws in $5. Stargate, Doctor Who, and Star Wars are part of the original Sam's Flowed half. Okay.
At least she learned might not be able to spell. See that's an important feature to come with.
Anyway, we find out about this planet, and Prime Directive applies, but they know about Vulcans because forever ago the planet was on the verge of collapse. So the Vulcans provided them with nuclear technology. If this thing melts down, there's going to be problems, so they got to go fix it. But they have to not look like, sorry, they have to be Vulcans because
Slight
there's,
complication.
yeah, they don't have warp drive or warp technology, but they do have advanced scanning abilities. So I think it's kind of fun. But and the Vulcans, of course, nowhere nearby. So they're the only ship in the quadrant. Without saying, they're the only ship in the quadrant.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and explain why they're this far out and blah 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 blah. Right? Yeah. But
Yeah.
it is somewhat charming. I don't know if you agree that Vulcans, what 200 years ago, I suppose, pre 300 years ago, pre warp, pre Federation, they did want to help people.
Yes.
They didn't say this is how they learn the lesson, because that would have been really coincidental. We like the Orville, right? There's one where they devastated something and that made them learn a lesson. I'm glad it was just one of their early instances. But I like the fact that, yeah, they wanted to help. Did it go poorly? Well, yeah. But now in this new order, because that's what 200 years ago, like I said, it's like, yeah, we've got ourselves in this bit of a pickle. I was genuinely shocked we didn't get anything with this plot in the story.
It was very quickly wrapped up,
I'm
like in like 6 minutes kind of
I
thing.
get it. It's funny and it works, but I forgot literally after reviewing this with you. We didn't mention any of this once. Rewatching it today, I'm like, oh, that was the A plot. I forgot about that. Because
Well,
it's
we talked about it after we filmed our review. It's like, should we do a video about the Prime Directive and the Vulcans?
uh,
These people know that Vulcans exist. They come from the skies, the heavens. Do
that,
these people think the Vulcans are gods, or did the Vulcans say, no, logically there are more creatures out in
yeah.
space? You know what I
It
mean? Like
it creates a
that's a
good
conversation.
question. Yeah. But I
But yeah,
do like the. It's a very very unique version, and Ethan's acting is absolutely spot on here. He's like uncomfortable, but also just matter of fact. But also he knows I'm in an oopsie, but it's not that bad an oopsie, but it kind of is. But lovely balance of all the things. And it's a really weird situation. I've never heard that before. So that is a nice first.
yeah, yeah. And you think it would play a bigger role in like it just doesn't.
Which is part of the joke, and sometimes the payoff could be no payoff. That does sound silly, but it's genuine, right?
Yeah, it's funny. The clip they showed us, like however long ago, that's the whole episode. They had to be Vulcans. They became Vulcans. They went and fixed it. Done. That's the episode. Now we'll move on to the rest of the
Now we'll move
episode.
on to the episode, yeah. But that also meant that we didn't know what was going to happen, and that's actually really
Yeah.
charming. I think they've kept surprising us almost always for the good this season. Oh man, But that's just me. And do vote in the poll, guys. We want to read out the results soon as well. So do help us get to 60 votes. That is 4 more. So if you haven't voted in the poll, I want to know. The tide's turning a little bit. Click now. We'll do a new poll. Let us know.
And I want to get to 60 likes as well. 60 votes and 60 likes. So hit that like button. Only 20 more. There's 62 of you here. Should be no problem at all.
Yeah.
Then we get the scene where they all get transformed, and I love Talia. Like, oh, it didn't work. That looked like fun. Um, but yeah, the problem I have with this is the transformation is so complete that it involves their hair as well.
Which is absolutely logical.
And actually, if you notice, when they're all standing there, uh, Chapel's knees are dirty. So they must have filmed the scene a few
This is
times.
take 3, yeah.
Because I don't know why they use white uniforms. Because they're always getting covered in blood. Like, how do you get those stains out?
They thought they were clever. And it's funny because this sort of scene, it's like you film the scene, then right, we'll go do 3 hours of makeup, everybody. Well, I mean, presumably a different day, but it's like such a weird thing of like this is not filmed even close to the same time because some of this is pretty substantial, and I assume Uhura's hair, the actress, is real, not a wig, because it's so like.
Yeah, I think it's real.
So to do that level of, I mean, is that a wig? Because she's got quite a large forehead there. Because if that's a lot of work, I would assume, to get her into that. I mean, doing it for multiple days, of course, but like that's a lot of work to do that.
Yeah. But no, this is a funny scene. I think Pelia makes this scene for me. Pelia and Mbanga, and Spock, the way they kind of react to everything, is really great. So
I found it odd how absolutely minimal Mbenga is this episode. He has almost no presence in any scene. He's just like,
but he's the nice guy. So maybe we should go get some sleep too.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree, but that's kind of it.
Well, later they do say that Chapel was the expert on this serum. So, but yes, you'd think that with him being CMO, that he would have played a bigger role. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, he's a weird guy, right? Fair, but yeah, and of course, Pelia in this episode is obviously on crack. I guess what's she?
Well, not LSD.
Yeah,
Can't use
LSD not working. But whatever, I don't know if the act. I mean, the actress is weird, clearly, and she's channeling something. But she tries to high five Pike in a scene, and it's out of nowhere. It's random. It doesn't go anywhere. Maybe Petty ad-libbed it, the actress, and they went with it because it's absolutely random.
I think it ties into the high five at the end. She probably watched them film that scene, and she's like, "We'll put in the high five here."
Oh well, okay. That's a.
I just assumed she's 5,000 years old. She's in a really good mood this day. She's just kind of messing with. It's kind of a fun mission. She's looking forward to being turned into a Vulcan. Like, let's do this.
Like I said, she feels high. The actress, everything she does is like all the worst traits as an actress, but it works this episode because she's just out of the weather. But in terms of the Klingon, in terms of Vulcan humans, I really like Chapel's straight lace look. I like her makeup. I think it works well with her. I mean, obviously channeling Romulan with Laan because there's something more about that. I don't know. It's a bit sharper than it needs to be, right?
Yeah, her ears look distinctly different than the others too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because when Sylvia watched this, she goes, "Wow, Laan looks more like a Romulan," and I'm like, mm-hmm.
But it suits her really, really well because Uhura is the most gentle feeling. It really blends in well. They've not done a lot, and she's the most gentle Vulcan, and Pike is
ridiculous.
I mean, it's the meta joke of his hair. I mean, there's no like it would have been funnier if his hair becomes a bowl cut like Spock.
Like, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I was just gonna say if he just said it would have been more funny.
Because that'd be more funny. Like properly the Spock look. That's just that's them saying we know it's a joke. He's a caricature, right? And you can't take him seriously. And Anson fucking loved it, I bet, because he's getting to play this season. This is all for him.
Yeah.
But acting wise, yeah, great looks, great vibes overall. And your favorite bit, of course. Oh yeah, no, it's later. Is it? Yeah, it's later. Oh yeah.
I do like to walk down the hallway and the music. I thought that was great.
I mean, it is cringe.
Yes, but that's why it's great.
Because it's not logical to flip a lurper mid-corridor for no reason. And so he wouldn't do it. But it's stupid and funny. It sets the tone well, which makes it good, but in a stupid cringe way.
Yeah.
And I was kind of wondering if they had like lessons how to walk like a Vulcan. Because I think they were sort of... Mostly
stiffer. Everything's stiffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if they could do like in time. They weren't. But yeah, Laan is more like, yeah. Well, I commend them for designing a whole new Vulcan rifle. And they use a Vulcan
Yes.
tricorder later. Great. Great costumes. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Like, brilliant. And the fact they stay in them is wonderful as well. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody kept complaining too, like, why didn't they change back into their Starfleet uniforms? And my response was, well, that's probably not logical. They're probably more comfortable in these. Plus,
Just look great. I mean, I'm fine with that. That's such a. Also, if you listen to dialogue, this is all over in one day. They just didn't go like roundabout. Just didn't change.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, yeah.
Scottish Nightmare says, wouldn't Spock be detected as half human on the planet? Well, we know his physiology is much more Vulcan than anything. Green blood, his heart is located in a different spot. So he's got the Vulcan physiology. It's just his it
Hmm.
it's the strongest aspect of him. So he still would scan as a Vulcan. He wouldn't scan as a half Vulcan.
That's a really interesting question because yeah, he's like conceptually 90% of Vulcan. It's just that little bit
Yeah.
extra.
Yeah.
And even if the tech they've got is put it this way, if their tech on the planet is so advanced, detect he's half Vulcan, know what that means, and not just an anomaly, they'd also be able to their costumes are less than an hour old, and the fabrics, you know what I mean, like all those little minutia, because all that's fictitious,
Yeah.
right? Or like the
But
beaming isn't a Vulcan beam. Like I'm fine with saying they can tell they're real Vulcans, but they're not detailed enough, right? Yeah.
and it's if they were scanned completely. Chances are they weren't. They were beamed down, walked into the
Yeah.
facility, did their thing. But if they were to get scanned, then they needed to be Vulcan. Then that might have kind of an issue. It's not like they're going to get scanned as soon as they beam down. Oh, they look Vulcan, so you're just going to probably let them in, right?
And I was waiting for scenes on the planet, which we didn't get.
Yes,
Crazy. It's fine. It's just not what I thought was going to happen.
I know.
I do, and Spock is slightly holding. No, okay, he's on the same stuff because he becomes the Sherpa in a little bit.
Yes, he becomes the pack mule. It's like, here, you're the least intelligent of us. Hold this stuff.
Which I'm always with Marie, so I know that feeling. Okay, this is when you get the first like the real it works fine as a one-off, but then Pike says 4 1/2 Vulcan to beam down. Now, how do you feel about that? Luckily, it's not a running joke, but how do you feel about that joke?
The name of the episode, man.
Well,
I'm fine with it. It did what it's supposed to do. It's funny, and a lot of people are saying that everybody's picking on Spock, picking on Spock. That's the point, because later he says a lot of Vulcans are jerks.
have you seen
So
Enterprise?
you get to see how not jerky Spock is in compared to a full Vulcan. So everybody that complains about Spock's Vulcanness, you're not getting the full, like I said, Anson kind of comes across as one of the Enterprise Vulcans who were complete assholes. Um, so, but I think it's funny, I think it's appropriate.
That's such a really interesting point by itself. I only ever really seen Spock. He's half Vulcan, so his mannerisms are unique. And Tuvok was really old.
Yeah.
So he's also he's been with humans for a very long time, so he's not the standard Vulcan culture. So again, he's got a slightly different version of what we've seen. And he obviously is generally really good friends with Janeway. There's a human connection that he feels, whereas a random Vulcan, etc. Yeah, I'm happy that they sort of dropped it because it's unnecessarily mean, but that's very Vulcan. So it works fine like twice. I think it 3 times, but whatever. What bothers me is that logically they're not Vulcan. Logically they're modified humans to be Vulcan. And if they're Vulcan with a brain, they would know that distinction. Because whatever you say, the serum is not changing all their blood colour, all their DNA, they are still human DNA with something else. If it changed everything 100% flawlessly,
Well,
then they've changed everything in terms of science and magic.
they
So they would know they're not full Vulcans. They wouldn't say 4 Vulcans. They'd say 4 modified Vulcans or human augment Vulcans. They'd say something not Vulcans. Not the correct way
I
of phrasing that.
I thought about that, but they were physiologically completely changed into Vulcans because later Pike says he's got the smell, the of a Vulcan. Like, he can smell the odor of the human in the room. So obviously, I was going to make a point about that during our first review, and then I thought no, because he does have the olfactory senses of a Vulcan because he's been completely physiologically changed into a Vulcan.
But if it's that easy, you just change all of
I
like.
know, I know, I know.
So I think
That's the
that's
other
just
comment I keep hearing repeatedly.
yeah. It just doesn't work. And I think they would, or at very least, they should say, um, post transformation Vulcans. Like it's just so incorrect to say you're full Vulcan when you obviously aren't in some way. You obviously aren't. That's not. It's not down to your absolute every single cell. It just felt silly. Whereas I wish it said landing party and half Vulcan Spock. Because when did they ever say 4 humans and 1 half Vulcan to beam down? They wouldn't. So just unnecessary, and it wasn't. Basically, it wasn't written in well enough for the joke to work in these scenes. Luck it was abandoned because had they said it longer, been really um, annoying. But yeah, Spock is unhappy with this because it's a bit unnecessary. Truthful in some contexts, of course, but if they just rephrase it slightly.
Mm-hmm. And Generation Production says isn't taking talking insults illogical. They're not talking insults. The thing with Vulcans is they're blunt. They just tell it like it is.
Yep.
It's not an insult. It's perceived as an insult. It's not intended as an insult.
Stuart, you are blind without glasses.
That's not true. I can see, just not very well.
I'm not insulting you. I was
I
stating
know,
that.
but I took offense to it because I'm not blind. I can still see.
But if
See how that works,
but
guys?
if the truth is the truth, why do you find it offensive? I can't spell very well. It's not an insult. It's a truth. I'm also very sexy. Again, just a truth. Yeah, so it's just how they associate. So that because if you watch, Anson's never being negative when he's saying that. He's just being technical. It's the cut to Spock that makes it negative, right? And you'd imagine on any Vulcan ship, shade is being thrown everywhere. There's just never shade because move past it, right?
It's not perceived that way. It's just
No.
like, yeah, you're just stating a fact.
Yeah.
Ray Ricks, 5 pounds. They are also not acting properly, or as a Vulcan would, because of the way their human cultures interact with Vulcan biology.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, that how many Vulcans have we seen? T'Pol, boy, does she not act like Savol, or act like T'Pring, or act like Serac, right? So the Vulcaness of Vulcanus is so different. But yeah, that's what I wish they dealt with more. That their human selves are actually like because things are only meant to be Vulcan for like one mission. So let's say a day. So I wish they'd said point blank: the longer you're Vulcan, the more your human side infects the Vulcan biology and therefore makes you more sporadic. That's all you have to do to fix that.
They all have their traits, though, if you look at it. Like, Chapel's very dedicated to work. And she running 7 experiments. Uhura, kind of emotional, cares about her relationship to the point where she wants to train her boyfriend to be a lapdog. That's fine. La'an, worried about strategy, weapons. That's her job. Pike's the only oddity in that one, but they all reflect their human selves with their volcanisms.
Yeah, hyper
They're
extreme with a Vulcan lens.
Volcanians. We should call them Volcanians for the rest of this episode.
So I do that. So it's just how they explained it. This is why I say the setup is flawed. Older Trek, TNG Voyager DS9 would have actually thought it through slightly more and given a bit more. You can imagine the exact same thing, but with well, we had the same thing with the Klingons, kind of, but as makeup. Boy, and they passed census, didn't they? When they made everyone look like making fake out, Vulcan. But had they had the classic, Kieran and Reese and Bashir scene where they discuss it in a bit more sciencey way. That's where they fell down. We needed more scenes with them eating soup or sorbet.
But yeah, very quickly they get in. It's supposed to take hours, takes minutes. Beam back up, and Spock's like, it was ironic. I was being called. They kept pointing out how un-Vulcan I am compared to them. And then it's like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll fix it in a few seconds here. I love the look on Scotty's face. Is like this scene's go even when they walk in and Scotty's like, oh, your ears are all so pointy. There's a lot of laughs in this episode, so I don't the little flaws or I
Well,
don't
no,
doesn't
it's the
bother
big
me.
flaws, but if you can move past them, then the small stuff is great.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? But yeah, for me, it it's more that I have a hard time picturing what they did because
Yeah.
Vulcans being smarter wouldn't mean that Uhura now knows engineering. So why Pelia was there to fix it. So I don't know who is fixing it. It obviously isn't Spock because they treat him badly.
Yeah, and never explains. I'm not too thinking too much about it.
My
It's probably
assumption,
something simple, like somebody unplugged something and couldn't figure it out,
well,
and they just went in and it's fixed. Bye.
did turn it on and off again? That was a thing you could do. Oh, we've always rebuild
Yes.
things. I'm more picturing that it's because on a Vulcan ship, everyone's on the same page, working double fast. They can discuss a plan and get through in seconds. It's the efficiency, where Spock has to deal with people and have to react to them and try and understand them. So I'm imagining when they get down there, they've all read the briefing between the turbo lift and the transporter room, like conceptually, and they just say, right, here are 4 objectives. You must do them all 4 now. Do them in 4.7 seconds. Boop, we did them all. But it's all just clockworkly efficient, whereas a human team,
Yeah.
Ortega's be like, wow, this thing's so cool. And they'd be slow, right?
Yeah.
And Pelia would do nonsense and make it slow. So everyone's just really efficient. They've been bored,
But
as you say. And I like that you can tell they don't want to be Vulcan here, kind of. They're not sold. Even Lan's not quite there yet. It gets worse. I appreciate that second time. They're not sold yet.
yeah.
And Spock, yeah, carrying all things. Spock. Ah.
And then the next scene in sick bay is important because this is where the serum's not reversing, and this is the line that's important to everybody. This is the line where it's important to everybody to hear. Because they derived the serum from Spock's perceived experiences, it has left our crew in a kind of logical state that normally takes Vulcans years to develop socially. Just a small thing, but I wanted to point that out because that's the thing that everybody's complaining about.
Well, that's the most important single line
Now,
in the episode.
if it had started degrading, like their emotions started to get more amplified, and then Spock had to tone it down with a mind meld, cool, that would have been good. But didn't get that.
Yeah, because as Peel pointed out, you're born a Vulcan, you have all these emotions, and if you let them loose, you hurt people and you do things and you're just bad for society because people can't process that way, right? And so you're taught as a very young kid to take the emotions, to suppress them, bury them, allow yourself to have a standard functional status, and inside then you deal with emotions in a different way. That's taught. It's not genetic at all, as Romans would be it. So it's 100% cultural. 100%, because T'Pol loses it and goes a bit crazy. 100% cultural. But at least there's something in there saying that carried over. I mean, you can also kind of then, I wish they said this as well, because he's half human, it's also flawed in itself. So it's like logic, flawed logic, and a human underlying. Like,
And that's why the flawed logic comes in. Like we want to stay Vulcans. That's a flawed logic. Yeah.
they like with like Trelane, there's things they are not going fully explaining, but there are hints for you to work out. Slightly annoying, but you know, it's kind of there. Oh yes, then your favorite bit of the episode, personal space. Who needs it? What Vulcan
Yeah,
would
like
ever do that though? What really? Right? What Vulcan?
yeah. I do love that it's acknowledged that I was human when I created this, so obviously it's probably going to have flaws. But now that I'm Vulcan, I'll get to the solution very quickly. Yeah.
Which advantage? She does. Less than a day.
Yeah.
Good job. But Stuart, good job with 74 votes. So hopefully we can get 75 before the end of this sentence. So 75 votes go. We asked you all, because remember, Stuart, we said at the start, it's a episode of polarization. Let's see what the truth of the situation is. At 74 votes, maybe 75 by the end of this. The winner, though, by a slither majority, meh, at 28%. Followed by 1% less said loved it, 27%. Followed by another sliver at 26% liked it. I don't know if I've ever seen 3 back-to-back, 6, 7, and 8. And 19% did not like it. So overall, the 53% of you did enjoy it. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. And D Tulsk keeps drilling down on this. Love this episode. On par with Duet, Darmok, In the Pale Moonlight.
Oh, wow.
Or like this episode like any average Trek episode. As any average Trek fun episode, lighthearted episode is, I think, the way people are loving it. Not saying it's on par with like In the Pale Moonlight.
Well, no, it's definitely better.
It's logically better.
Yeah. I mean, there's more hair. I mean, Cisco had no hair, so Pike's long hair meant it's better. Also, it's longer. That's better. There's more music. That's better. The sets are brighter. That's better. Yeah, I mean, it's just better. I mean, I think if it doesn't win 3 Emmys, sorry, 5 Emmys, sorry, 4.5 Emmys. There you go. That rounds out the joke. There we go.
4.5. Yeah, that's great.
Right, new poll incoming.
And he goes on to ask, what does loved it mean? That I loved it because I watched it and I was laughing through it. I had a good time. I enjoyed everybody's acting. I loved the performances. I thought it was great. At the end, I felt good about it. There are episodes of Discovery where none of those things happened. And I wanted to slit my wrists half the time because I had to watch it 3 goddamn times to do these reviews. So,
yeah, so much of season 4 is so boring and so bad, and the acting's so subpar, and it's so padded, and it's so wasteful. You don't know nothing about any characters. It's like so difficult just television to watch. And this was a pleasant television experience, which I can
yes.
also ignore and move past, and that's fine. But yeah.
Ray Ricks, £5. They said that, but it is still lazy. They transfer a person's experience and learning with a single shot. This is Tribble's curing death levels of lazy. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but at least they said it. Discovery wouldn't have. So there's many times where like all they needed when we were reviewing Discovery, all they needed was one line of dialogue that said this.
Do you have
You know how many times? You know how many times you said that in reviews?
Oh, God. You specifically, but yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
And it's always fair, because one line at least means it might be dumb, but there's something for you, right? Yeah, 100%. That's a really fair point.
Discovery's a low bar for comparison. It is, Ray. It is. But the fact of the matter is, when they did this spin-off show of Discovery, they learned a lot of lessons. Went episodic, feels more TOS, feels more in line with canon as far as sound, like even sound effects, visuals go. It's very much, they've learned a lot from the Discovery experience. So any improvement is good from Discovery.
Also, the only reason I use that as an example in this and the last week is that many people actually think this is one of the worst episodes of Trek. And it's like, go back and watch Discovery Season 1. You've forgotten how bad that was. Right?
Yeah.
Drawing a delta in the sand.
You've blocked it out.
To show a ship in orbit over several hours where there's wind moving stuff. Are you joking? That's one of those decorated captains.
That's the very first episode, the very first few moments too.
And she has eaten. Like, are you joking? Right? To Kuvama and all that. Are you joking? This is absolute. This is TNG Season 2 to Discovery's Discovery. Because you can't compare anything worse than Discovery Season 1, right? But let's do this new poll. Read it out, because I want to know, because this is a simple one. Let us know.
Did the becoming of Vulcan logic work? The science of it, or whatnot? Overall, did it for you? Yes or no? I agree with Ray that it doesn't work, but I'm glad the line is there. All it would have taken was one mind meld from Spock, or just a scene where he's mind melding the last person, implying that they've all had the mind meld to calm them down. That's my thought.
Oh, yeah, sonar in space. Yes, seriously. But yet detected enclosure across the quadrant. Briefly, though, Stuart, my dad actually pointed out when watching this, why don't they use this to make Spock fully Vulcan then, if that's been his wish? It would be that easy.
Because I don't think he wants in that way.
But he
Wants to
has.
become more Vulcan on his own terms, and he's not at that stage right now, I don't think.
But you know what I mean. There's now
Yes,
a
I do.
single dose pill with no downsides.
But it could be found out in the next season that the serum is actually
Hey,
very, very bad. That's why it's never used again.
which I'm shocked they didn't holodeck it at the end, right? Because if they'd said this thing is a god serum, but it causes cancer, really, oh god, ugh, we can never use it again. Would have been nice if that had been acknowledged, but that's okay.
And D Tulk says, "You guys are so positive, even if it's hard." No, we're positive and negative. We were negative on a lot of well, most of Discovery, but we always pointed out the
Well,
good things they did.
yeah, bad stories, good scenes often. And I also gave a whole spiel at how the thing's broken as an episode, so
Yes,
and we,
but
and
he
we
didn't
can.
hear that part.
That's fair. And we can justify any of these things, right? I will say though another thing I disagreed here. Oh, I think it was a scene ago, but because I'm always trying to think if they are actually saying they're full Vulcan, which is the entire gimmick. Chapel, I think that's in the previous scene. She said explicitly, we're going to be stuck as Vulcans forever." What a pathetically stupid line. If you're a Vulcan, you would say, "Currently, based on my knowledge, or at the present time." That's not what you would
Yes.
say in any framework.
Yep.
It's wrong. You wouldn't say it. Moving on. But really like this scene. We'd sort of skip over with the really seriousness the documentary. We hand wave. I guess it made no impact either way, positive or negative. But I like her as just chilling out in the bar, waiting for him. It's cute while being fully Vulcan. He's got a nice vibe. I'm surprised he's allowed on the ship. Civilian. He's not filming anything, but whatever, fine. But what I like most about this scene is I can't remember the lady's name yet. What's her name?
Beto.
No,
Beto.
her name, the actress.
Cecilia.
Yeah. Right. She has so much behind the eyes smiling energy in this scene. It's absolutely glowing out of her expressions, but she doesn't keep everything down on the Vulcan. But you can feel she's a really emotive Vulcan, but she's keeping it all the way back there. But it's all coming out because she's genuinely happy to see him. She's genuinely wanting to do stuff with him, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and genuinely has an idea to help him, which she thinks is help. But it's still played in the not flat, but whatever. Like she's too emotive in general for a Vulcan, but she's very like the T'Pol style, where you can be like, "Oh, well, you're clearly snarky." I'm not. So really good scene for her. Like she's absolutely nailing that vibe, and it's so good to watch because it's a hard thing to do, and she nails it.
Uh, Marco says, and this is a good point. The one thing that somehow somewhat saves it for me is the other real Vulcans in the episode don't act like imbeciles. So in a sense, the episode does admit that they don't act like actual Vulcans. Yeah, exactly.
That is a wonderful point, actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
having the normal Vulcan, and he's just a chill standard guy,
Yeah.
nothing special to him. Yeah, and Pike does seem weird compared to him. All his
Oh yeah.
side looks.
Yeah.
I love that. I really love that. That actually would have been better to have more other Vulcans in. Although, sorry, no Vulcans in range. There was a Vulcan on the bloody planet they're just at. Oh wait, an admiral literally in range of that planet. Why couldn't he go down?
Because he's an admiral. He doesn't have the technological experience.
God damn it. Space and time, eh? Anton in Trek, when the science isn't science, how can the plot even plot? Watch Discovery Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, because Season 1, Season 2. I mean, the
Yeah.
bar is lower now, and at least the story's good around that. You know?
Yeah, this scene and this storyline for me of Uhura and Beto don't really I don't care. They could have been cut out, honestly. They're just saying here that, you didn't plan our date. You shouldn't just wing a first date. I planned it for you. Let's go. It's like, okay, cool.
But you don't tend to love romance stuff. So that's more of a personal thing.
It depends if it's done
It
well,
does.
and we've seen that.
We have. Whereas I
It's when
think
it's
this was
sappy and shitty that I
whereas
cringe.
I think this was super refreshing, actually, because you've never seen this version of it before. She's blunt but truthful and sort of friendly about it, and he takes it on good spirits. And oh gosh, there's some episode of some Trek where because of a thing, they do something like they kiss or they have sex, whatever. That goes, it skips like a season of will they won't they. I can't remember what that was. This is kind of that. Like, she's forcibly, bluntly saying her intent, which makes him say his intent, and therefore we can skip past that. And it's kind of like, yes, you should have planned the day. I like that logic. Logic, huh? It's like, well, why didn't you plan? If you really fancied me, why didn't you plan? I thought it was really a new take on that.
But some people don't plan. They like to just do things at the spur of the moment.
That's not logical.
No, but it's very human.
Exactly, which is why the distinction is so fun. But he seems gentle. I mean, those that hated him last week, I mean, he's nice in this episode, right? Comes across as a nicer guy, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sam Julius throws in $5. We need to have
Every
more
time.
Sam Kirk. He's been hinted at, but not seen for a few episodes now. Yes, we need more Sam Kirk.
Oh, if you want to jump back on Generation Productions as well, because he's tagged us.
I read it, but I wasn't going to acknowledge it. The question remains, why did the Vulcan DNA change their hair? What? They're a Vulcan hairdresser gene or a Vulcan hairdresser on the ship, LOL. I made that joke at the very beginning and earlier in the review, and my first reaction last night of there was a hairdresser out of sight, laying down on the floor as soon as they fell, doing it, because that's not how DNA works. So
Yep, doesn't work, is dumb, shouldn't have been in there. 100%.
Yep.
Just like they shouldn't be wearing blue Discovery uniforms with deltas on this. You know, so many things. So many things. Like, should be the flagship. It shouldn't be the flagship of the Federation. Shouldn't be. Like, I'm more concerned about the ship being 443 meters now, when it isn't. That for me is significantly worse than them having big hair, right? That
yes,
bothers me like generationally than them having big hair, right? So, anyway, Kirk Boone's aboard. Why is he there? Meh. Just is. They like Paul Wesley. That's really it.
Yeah.
But we're doing a lot of Spock and Kirking, so I'm guessing they really want to like harp on. Sorry, Kirk and Spock, Kirk and Scottying. Thank you. Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. So I'm guessing they're okay. We're doing that right now. So these two can be, because they're good friends in TOS, right? That is, they have a good vibe. That we can lead into them building up for the end of the Strange Worlds, which is leading to TOS ish, and we're you know. So I'm for it, even if it stuffs the episode with even more stuff.
Yes. Indeed, Tulsk says, don't Vulcans have different eyelids? They have an inner eyelid to help with, but how do you know that they didn't get that? Who cares?
Well, they did, because they're fully Vulcan.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the Scotty and Kirk thing was like my favorite part of this episode. Their interactions together were really great. Scotty was a real standout in this episode for me. Really liked all his reactions to things, but yeah, I have no problem with Kirk being there, honestly. And I did see little bits of Shatner as, young Shatner vibes from him. So
I didn't, but I also wasn't looking for it, because he wasn't in uniform. He wasn't doing a Kirk thing. He was just a chill guy, right? I don't know. But I love the fact that he's like, I know very few people here, and I genuinely want to hang out with people because nothing better to do in a nice way. Scotty, you saved my ship, and I we push each other's buttons. Let's hang out because it's fun to talk to people who will disagree with us, right? Because they had a good banter last time. But my favorite part about the scene is I appreciate it wasn't. Oh, and what about the girl I used to fancy, kind of, that I totally could hook up with, and so I was like, ugh, womanizer. Luckily, it wasn't that. It was just, I know her as well. I was so thankful it didn't turn weird like that, because A, he said no because of Carol, and B, like, we don't need that. But at least we acknowledge that they've had a thing,
yes.
So it's great. That's exactly how she handled it. Nice. And even Sky's not like, he's cringing because she's no longer herself, not because you want to kiss our security officer. So phew.
Yeah.
Well done.
And Dee's comment is a good segue into this next scene because he says, isn't it very hot on Vulcan? Would they not notice the temperature being human level? Yeah, I thought that this was going to come into play with Pike, where he's talking about the suitability of the room being cluttered, smelly. I assumed he was going to say something about the temperature. They didn't do it, which was disappointing to me. Because, yeah, Spock likes his quarters a little warmer. It would have been nice to just acknowledge that. So I agree with you there.
Look, what we've learned is that because of the Gorn DNA, Batel likes warmer quarters, so he feels very comfortable there.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Didn't love the bloody Hoover with the Starfleet Deltron. You are an embarrassment to put deltas everywhere. That sounds harsh.
They were on the boxing gloves and the pads too earlier.
You're never gonna stop, but it's truly embarrassing. It's truly cringeworthy. I dislike it so much. Jesus fucking Christ. It's kind of a funny scene because they are still in their own space, and he's still more comfortable as a human Vulcan, Pike Vulcan, versus later when he's more official. So to see the Pikeism seep through to he still loves her, but in his own way. So I like this dynamic more than the other scenes with him because he's just being the captain mode. It's a dumb scene and it's silly, but it's funny,
It's
silly.
funny. It's funny, yeah.
But it's definitely caricaturian of Vulcan versus. It's more poking fun at, but also, you know, implying she's a slob and. It's like she has.
Well, no, she cleans very well. It's just for Vulcan, it's not a Vulcan.
No, I meant the
level.
clothes on things. Like that I mean, like slobbery, and that she puts things. There's their quarters, right? But that's not logical to put one day stinky clothes on chairs, right? I kind of wish though that it wasn't he was smelling them. He was smelling her perfume, which he loves as a human, because I can imagine that being more the side. Or I did think it was super illogical to manually put your hands down on a thing to de-air it. That's super illogical.
Using all the air.
Do it with a machine that we have. I don't know, but
It was just holding a vacuum, yes.
yeah, it's just but the performance was just like funny as.
BJ $2. Got to run. Give it an 8 out of 10 for sandbox mode fun. Yeah, he says that Strange New Worlds is just Star Trek in sandbox mode, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I love bottle shows. The sets are nice. The actors. I mean, if the cast was worse, it would be as fun. But everyone has something, right? But guys, keep voting in the poll. Only 29 votes. I want to see at least 40, so keep voting.
Yes. Next scene is Chapel. She's working on the serum. She blows something up, and is that part of the cure? Nope. I'm working on. Well, he assumes 6 different things. She's like, no, 7. And there's a missed opportunity here, even though I hate the line. But she's like, I understand more about you now. All the science. There's a pause, and I'm like, either she or Spock is going to say, I like science. That's from Discovery, and it's ridiculous. But I'm glad they didn't go there. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that would have been a perfect place to put it. Sorry. Moving on. You have anything about this scene?
Yeah, that's why I have pictures in the thumbnail. I love her faces in this. There's so much passion behind the eyes of Chapel, and feeling Vulcan's the wrong phrase for this because she's clearly emoting, but it's like body language things. But yeah, the fact that she's so overwhelmed with possibilities that she literally can't hold back is fun, and her dialogue stays relatively in check. It's the facial acting that she's letting kind of go, but it's a hard scene. I just love the energy, and it's nice because there's an evolution of her character as she understands go away, which she says at the end, which I like. And then when she's playing more Vulcan than Spock is, all the times that he is like, like the reactions of Spock, where he can have a bit more of a flow, which you never think of because he's Vulcan, but compared to other Vulcans, it feels like a natural flow, is really fun to see. So yeah, it's a great scene for them, and I buy it, and I love seeing, you know, it accentuates their best worst habits, and would have been nice. I said in another review, had any of them done something in the episode that actually benefits them later. So she finishes a project she want to do for 6 years, or La'an improves phases for something else. Because what's she doing in the scene that could be finished, right?
La'an should have improved phasers. That's why we get the blue beams from TOS.
Yeah. It's so obvious.
It's just the poll was tied for a second, and it just went. So the poll's very interesting. Go vote. 33 votes. We have 64 of you here. We need more votes. Let's get up to 60 votes in the poll.
I thought it'd be more 90% and stay at that. So I'm quite.
I did too.
That's the thing. When you get to anonymously vote your truth, a few loud voices, we love you guys. The loud voices do not equate to the majority, because we're learning some stuff here, right? We are learning some stuff. But no, it's a good scene. I love the get out because it's just being blunt, right?
Yeah.
And
We get.
oh, she's great in this scene. Just
Yes, she is.
the acting
So much,
is
so much space. We should conquer it. We should get it.
why.
It's like,
Otherwise,
whoa,
others might.
yeah. This is a great conversation. And it's like, give me your pad. It's like, well, you are technically my boss.
Yeah, I found that a bit odd. Like, it's not classified to her.
Yeah,
And nothing in engineering is because she's her security. And he's new, but fine. But it's a really, really fun scene. She acts it so well. I mean, she's honestly nailed every variant of every role she's done in the show.
yeah,
I mean, I hope she gets some more stuff after this because she is truly just and doing more than the role. Because like Seela was fine, right? Good, fine, but there's something extra sparky here, right?
yeah.
It's extra, but it's not comic, right?
Oh, it's funny you say that because Kirk even says, "Isn't she a little extra manipulative
Oh yeah.
and extra aggressive?"
Oh, second time it's like Kirk, which is great. Kirk nails it straight away. He gets it. You know, I've seen Vulcans. I know Vulcans. She is, but I can also see, you know, she's head of security. She's seeing the flaws. She's seeing what could be. La la la. But yes, to you know, same day want to take over people. I would be more worried than them. Cause seriously, but
Yeah.
I guess she's our friend. She won't destroy anything or start a war. No, 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 no.
But then the next scene, Samuel. Sorry, gotta yell. Number one, get,
Yeah.
get, get to the briefing room with the senior staff.
I can't. I'm closing the main circuit. There is precedent, right? There is precedent for yelling Vulcan.
I just watched the Corbinite maneuver the other day, which is like the third. It's supposed to be the third episode because their uniforms still quite aren't right, but they're very
Yeah, yeah.
close. And Spock yells in that too. He's standing and begin photographing. It's like, holy fucking relax, dude. Like it's a thing for a while.
Yeah, there's a precedent for everything. I
Yeah.
love the fact that Una's eating a shitty little sandwich. It's the, you know what I mean? It's so unimpressive and just like, oh, okay, could be anything.
By the way, when I played of them, there probably would have been like six.
Although, wouldn't it have been great as in a previous episode, just eating the little cubes, TS cubes?
Yeah.
Because she already had
Yeah.
one in a previous episode. That would have been a nice touch.
Yes, she did.
Like a red cube, green cube, and it's tiny detail, but that would have been kind of fun there and super easy to make. But then they walk in, lovely shot the NX and the Phoenix, and we know they're there, but they're definitely there. Love the angle of the guys. I did find it a bit hypocritical, the no chairs rule, given he's in a chair in 3 scenes.
He's the captain. He can sit.
It didn't really ring true to me, but fine, whatever.
The problem I had was when she moved the chair. She's a lanthanite, or not a lanthanite. She's a Illyrian. She's got stronger strength. She can hoist people over her and carry them, but she's struggling with the
Yeah.
chair. Don't know if you noticed that,
Look,
but
the director might not have seen Stranger World season and season 5. I know she's enhanced. Fair enough. Michael. No, she won't start a war. It was 3 at the same time. She has.
it was 4, wasn't it?
Ugh.
The Klingons, the Orions, the Tholians, and the Gorn Hegemony.
Well, they're gone in
Yeah.
hibernation, so they're not war starting.
But yeah, this scene, they're just like, we've decided we're all going to stay Vulcan. It's the most logical thing to do.
Everyone's like,
It's
what?
like, oh,
Boy, this height range. Pelia is a very small woman.
yes.
Like, she must be about 5'1". And I thought Ortega's was taller, but I guess she was sat when we met her.
Yes.
Boy, there's a height. I mean, it's part of the joke, right? The number one so tall and Patton's so small, like a 1.5 foot difference. Yeah. I love the oh no. But also, you could have seen it coming, guys. Really? Just saying. Yeah, then you get the chair. Pike's silly pose.
Hilarious.
Well, exactly.
And 42-minute shift rotation.
How is that logical?
I don't know.
Explain that to me.
It's probably the attention span of a human. So he's just
Oh,
making things more efficient. That way they don't get tired or bored or do, shit they're not supposed to do.
yeah. I would have preferred it if they'd had it be the same as the TNG guy that everyone hates, but he's great.
Barkley?
Oh no, 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 no. The
What
captain.
TNG guy that everyone hates?
Where's Barkley? No, yeah, the captain comes in and changes shift patterns.
Oh, Jellicoe.
Yeah, like I wish it's been exactly quote for quote his pattern.
Yes.
Like,
Changed to a four-shift rotation.
yeah, a small thing, but it's like enough of a, I don't know.
Like, I assume I can't argue with you. You would lose.
You would
It's like, okay.
lose. Calm down. Yeah, I wonder who'd win in a fight though. You know, strength wise.
Hmm. Well, the way she was messing with that chair, I would say Pike.
Yeah, yeah. Then we get in Payer's quarters once again. Waste opportunity of not having any old style as in Trek stuff. Bit of a shame. And I guess she has gangbangs with aliens. That's what I took from that. Or she slept with half the crew. It's something crazy like that, right? Because she actively has got no scanners, no sensors, nothing. In my time, it's mine. No one will see what I'm doing.
But this is the conversation. Should we change them? Well, they never wanted to be Vulcans before this, so I think their reasoning is flawed.
Yes. Yep.
But we have to talk to them without a Vulcan filter. How are we going to do that? Katra.
Yes. And I really appreciated this conversation. It's really helped ground the episode from being nonsense to, okay, yeah, as you said, they didn't want it originally, didn't know, like, they're obviously being affected. Yeah, really good, really measured, really well written, gentle, great scene. You need that, right? Otherwise it just becomes silly. Because, yeah, if they didn't consent to this in their right mind, therefore they can't take it as real.
Yeah.
Obviously. Good.
Yeah, they agreed to be temporarily Vulcan. That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to read. Oh, yes. D. Off-topic question to the chat, but are they really doing a Kirk reboot show after Strange Worlds? No. Well, maybe movies. I'd be more down with TOS movies, but in TOS, which sounds I guess silly, but then it's at least a different framework.
Yes. And not movies like streaming movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to make it. I mean, low budget section. One was the sets. It's existing, done right. Very cheap to do. But they're not
Then
not mutinying. Just a slight bit of espionage, kind of.
we get Lon checking out the Jeffrey's tube, and Pike comes up, and I had a mission that I can't talk about, but let's say it at the same time. Romulan, did your mission also involve time travel? I cannot talk about that, and then I suggest we don't talk about it. It's like, all right, cool. At least Romulan was mentioned. Good.
I mean, wasn't not this scene just pure magic?
It was.
I hope it
It
was hard to
was.
film just to do it in straight face. Because
I love the turn. It's like, boop, just out. Yeah.
you have to match tone so perfectly. And Pike, like, the expression's so on Vulcan from both of them.
And his reaction too when he like leans back and stuff as well. It's very comedic, this whole
Yeah.
interaction. So
Because they're not real Vulcans. No shit. But it's great. I mean, it's also illogical to both reveal secrets at the same time. I mean, the whole thing doesn't make sense from Vulcan point of view, but they're being affected, right? And I had not even for a second remembered that both had explicitly had events in their lives
yes.
where they saw the future variant where they knew Romulans and Vulcans were the same.
Yeah.
But yes. And they probably thought that in the writers room, like, oh shit, we've set this over 3 years. They can know this. Huh.
And it's good that they're at least thinking about it
Yeah.
and not screwing things up just because they want to.
I do though wish, and I would have assumed personally that because Pike does, I think in the scene reference that she's acting more. Yeah, at the start he's like, you are being more unusual than a Vulcan. If he knows she's a Romulan, basically, he never acts to stop her. Whereas he would logically therefore know that Romulans are not to, there's something else there. So he would logically now know this to then try and stop her. That'd be my assumption. As he's also a Romulan, but that's not in the scene. Right? Like, he would not just let her do stuff because she's now a danger to the ship.
Mhm.
What do you think? It's
I
like
don't know
when
if he's I don't know if he's put it together that she is in fact a Romulan, but I don't know. That's a good question because yes, if he's doing his like serious Captain Vulcan vibe, he would definitely address that immediately.
it's when you
But
realize your dummy grenade's a real grenade.
yeah,
You're not going to keep letting your kids play with it. But apart from that one little thing, great scene, great acting, great fun, great silly, good stuff.
yeah. And Raj, they're not going to do year 4 and 5 of the 5-year mission.
Well, it'd be year 4 in 6 episodes, right? It'd be truncated anyway, if they
Yeah.
were.
Uh, Anyways, yeah. So funny, quick scene, but I enjoyed it. And then we get the scene where where Tika finds out that her brother's been well, he's acting very odd. Let's put it that way. Very compliant, and this is a fun interaction as well. But again, I didn't need this story element personally, but it's fine. Yeah, it's a good, well acted scene. Ortegas gets some good lines, good reactions. Very human of her. It's the way
Yeah.
she acted. So
And obviously, by this sort of scene, she accepted they're kind of dating. So you'd have
yeah,
to. So big development. But Tech says now they know the Romans related to the Vulcans. Well, these two people do and already did, and they're both clear sworn secrecy and both take it very seriously. So they ain't gonna spread that. Just saying, they might. Some people might know, but it doesn't mean they know. Right? It's like like Spock knows, but he's not telling people, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I was sure she'd made him a Vulcan in the scene. I thought that was very logical, and I was absolutely fine with that, just with messier hair, because I didn't know what she could have done without it. And mind meld never once crossed my mind because that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I just thought he was being like, okay, I kind of like this attitude she's got, this take charge attitude. I'm just gonna, yeah. I thought, yeah, I didn't
Just
think of my meld at all the first time.
just a very active mimicking because you can tell what they're doing. It's not subtle, right?
Well, it's funny though. I say that I didn't think it was my meld. You didn't think it was my meld. When Sylvia watched it the first time, she's like, "Did she mind meld him?" So it's just perception, right?
Well, there you go. But no, I like this fine. This is the weakest of the scenes of these two, in my opinion, because it's not really doing anything particular except give Ortega something. But yeah, then you get a really great Corby. I like seeing him. You know he's just in like a corner of the soundstage on like yeah a quick 5 minute set or an edit. I love how cheap this feels, but it's like very apt.
This is a great scene
This is
too.
a great little
Perhaps I
scene.
should go. It's like, nope, it's fine. I'm also breaking up with you. You've already done that. Great, good. I got to go talk to other people. Look at all the time I wasted on socialization and sleeping. I need to fix this. Get so much more done. It's like, wow.
I believe it because they're not real Vulcans. It's all just in their
It's new to
brain.
them. It's new to them.
Exactly.
Like,
It's taken over her existence. She can't process everything. It's just, and so I like this escalation because yeah, it's true. You know, hanging out in the bar for an hour. Yes, you can think about a problem. But you can't do anything with the problem. You're using time. I get it, but then to use the phrase "breaking up with them as a friend" is really fun and interesting. And I kind of thought she was going to go down the line of you still harbor feelings for me as I do for you, and therefore I'm breaking up the residual relationship we might have in the future. But don't do that. Fine with that. And then she says, "You're great with the arm. You're two broken people to come together." Love that.
Yes.
Cute.
Yeah.
Nice. Says what you're thinking, and not with malice. It's just how Vulcans speak. So yeah, a lot of little good things, and not what I thought was going to happen. And Spock is having a hard time processing any of this shit because he's like, "That's not what I thought a Vulcan version of you would be like. She sucks more than I thought."
Yeah. Then we get Kirk and Scotty looking for La'an. She's master signature somehow. Maybe she stole a shuttle. Not yet. Poltergeist. Funny scene again. But yeah, it's like, you guys are going to help me. We don't have enough weapons, and they're not deadly enough. So let's go fix that. It's like, okay, well, let's probably keep an eye on her.
Oh yeah, Scotty's just afraid, but Kirk's doing his command training of keeping in front of the problem.
Yeah.
And of course, as often they say in films, the best way to get through a trap is to spring the trap because you know what's happening. So, you know. But yeah, how did she know they were there? Why did she do that? Blah, blah, blah. Why is it them? Blah, blah, blah. Don't know, but it's just that's the designated sets we've set up. That's why, right? But I get some time to interact. I'm fine with it. I don't know why she thinks it would help her though. So
She just needs to be doing something because she's got all this Vulcan energy, or Romulan energy. So of course she's going to do Romulan things. Let's make the weapons better.
yeah, it's a bit story plotty, but again, it's fun.
Yeah.
Keeps going.
And then the scene about the mind meld.
Uh-huh.
Hey, we're Tegases. We are crazy. That's what you love about us. For somebody that's supposed to be so smart, if you can't see what makes my brother awesome, then you're kind of dumb. Good kick in the ass. So yeah, it was a good scene. Again, lots of energy. I loved it. Ortegas did a good job.
Yeah, and for me, it's also the fact that there's so much acting underneath the surface with this actress, as in Uhura. She's very explicit here, and I believe her 100%. She didn't mind meld away him to a Vulcan. She did keep who he is, but just lessened some of the more big things, right?
Mhm.
But she believes he's still him because she fancies him. You can still see her through this, which is why I generally thought, because everyone's being handled differently, I thought for her it was going to be a case of she will agree to turn back because she's not adjusting the same way. She's more herself. Doesn't happen
Yeah.
that way, but I liked where they're going with that. That she still doesn't, affect everyone differently.
Yep. And then we get the whole nobody wanted to speak with me. I can't talk to these people. And he was like, "Ugh, I know somebody that's a Katra expert. I didn't want to mention it, but they're nearby, and they'll try to convince them to help out. But
What are the chances of that?
right,
Absolutely zero.
and it's her ex. Oh my God, she's got an ex. Anyway,
He's her
yeah,
ex. I did find it one of the few times I'm like that genuinely know that Pikes threw him out because his half-human stench was bad for his food. I don't believe that for a second. I don't think he has a half-human stench, nor do I think he would be blunt enough to say it affects cooking. Because that would infer that every single Vulcan he's ever met thinks he stinks. I don't believe that. That took it too far for me, and just absolute silliness. I can't get behind. What do you think?
thought it was funny, as it was meant to be.
Yeah, that was too far for me. But very small thing.
Ray Rick's 5 pounds. She's doing it because the treatment was interacting with her augment DNA. Her con slide was coming out. Yes, we've already talked about that earlier in the live. So
yeah, and that's why it escalates really well. Yeah.
superior ambition,
Gonna start a
superior
war
aggression. Yeah,
with one bloody Connie. Big Connie, but one Connie. But
then we learn about her.
I did laugh at the Pelia line. She's in bed.
These 42-hour shifts are killing me.
Sure, I laughed at that. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And then they go and meet the person. They didn't need the fake guy for 1 second who's just having standing looking at the door. That guy's gonna go to Vegas in 2 years and sign autographs. I'm telling you now. Right? Because we knew who was coming. We don't need this teaser. But anyway.
Probably one of the producers or somebody.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Patton Oswalt, who was much better than I thought. Because I had zero interest in seeing him because this is not what he would be good at. But did a good job. He was directed well. I was a big Trek fan, so he knew what to bring to it. So well done him.
And the un-Una-isms of like, oh, he's such a great gardener, and why am I even talking? And Spock and I got married, and we have kids, and it's like, wow, that escalated very quickly.
I was waiting for you're missing your wedding rings. Oh yes, you know what I mean, like instant proof they're not married.
Yeah,
but whichever. But yeah, good chemistry with these two. I wonder if they knew each other in the past, because they have a certain friend energy.
who?
Right? The two, Una and Doug, like the actors, they have something. I wonder if they knew each other
I was
anyway.
gonna say, yeah,
not necessarily date or anything, of course, but just like, I wonder if they know each other at conventions or in other work. They just have a certain, or like,
no, maybe,
because it could be absolutely anybody in this role, basically, who has a weird spark. I wonder if you recommended him or something.
It's probably one of those. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I want to be in Star Trek. I'll do anything.
I'll be absolutely exactly. But yeah, they sit down. Like you say, the lying escalates. That's why I said in our other review, I don't like the fact that Spock lies. So I was listening very carefully to the conversation.
Easily. Yeah,
because he can't lie in theory. He can
and he doesn't expound on things she said. He says, yes, we have a boy and a girl. It's like, yeah,
because I was very, very listening to the idea of he can agree with things she's saying in a certain way, but not lie. And he lies. I'm like, oh, okay, he ruined it. Because that'd have been great writing. Like if she had said, oh, and I've always wanted to name. I always thought my first name daughter was blah, blah, blah. Wasn't that a great name, Spock? That is indeed a great name. Like that level of it's an agreement without being real. But they kind of ruined it a bit because it's a giant plot point. The Vulcans don't lie, does it without effort. So Blair, and the fact he gets called out on it for being good later. I don't know. That was bad writing in the scene of good writing, at least funny writing.
Yeah. Kalsiv and Sarah / Doug. Doug is her nickname. It's like, the fuck. Doug is also my name. That is a coincidence. It's like, wow.
it's right on that razor thin cringe line.
Yeah.
It's right there. Right there. No, you will
And
sit
even
down.
Spock spilling the drink. It's just like, I'm sorry, dear. Yeah, it's a good scene. It's hilarious.
I mean, it's three talented actors who are having fun, and it is nice that you want to do something different. But interesting to see when she's actually happy, like properly happy, like her shields are properly down. And as I said in another review, this feels like they've created the out as to why she's not in TOS, because through various reasons she ends up going back to him, and they actually last. Because the most happy she's ever going to be potentially is with him. Cool, love it. Because there's no downsides to them as a two, right? Apart from distraction, but that's having a partner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But she leaves. Again, then we go to the sorbet.
Leek sorbet. It's like, okay, interesting.
Now, are the quarters genuinely sparser now?
I don't think so.
I didn't feel like they were.
No. But
Nah, they both have wine. They don't drink. They should both have water. Everyone has wine. That's a canon issue. It'd be fake wine, but it'd be water. It wouldn't be even a flavored drink. Tut script. Tut.
But yeah, the Pike totally just railroads his girlfriend here, so. And it's hilarious. I love when she fights back. So, listen, here's And then she says, "You used to call him the human with inappropriate hair." And the look she gives Pike is great. Like her acting's phenomenal here.
And he looks up for half a second, not even on probably on camera. Just he's like, "Oh." I do kind of wish though, because often the blunt of a Vulcan has a point, but he's just ratting her out here. There's no layers to it, right? I wish he gave this really giant spiel, and then ends saying, but this also led to her having a 23% more efficient brain. She's 23% more powerful. Like the good things to balance out the negative, because otherwise it is just throwing her under the bus. And even being a Vulcan, he would still pick her over the Admiral, who he doesn't like. So the scene's a little bit disingenuous to how the scene would play and to him as a Vulcan. Blah. 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 But she's funny and she's good. It's just, it could have been a better scene.
Let's see. Anton says, "What about the doctor-patient confidentiality here?" Well, there's no doctor here. This is her boyfriend who's saying that her treatments, take 2 days to recover, and so there's no doctor here, and Bango wouldn't be saying this.
Well, and also it's logical to inform an admiral who might bring him back to duty to change lives that she's not able. It's only logical, right? But also, Ozzy, Spock can lie later on in Star Trek 2 Wrath of Khan. He lies. Well, exaggerates. There is a distinction.
Yes.
There's always a distinction. Otherwise, it's not such a moment.
Mm-hmm.
He just lies here, flat out. How's the poll going? 48 votes. We need 2 more votes, guys. And keep the super chats coming. Your thoughts, comments, and questions. We're doing well so far, but there's definitely way more to go. So, couple of. Okay. I'm challenging you all. $2. What's your favorite thing or least favorite thing in the episode? Let us know, right? Because it's a very dense episode. $2. What's your favorite or least favorite of the episode? Let us know.
I do like when she kicks them both out, and Pike, he didn't like my sorbet. Your sorbet sucks. So he stops and takes it. That was great.
It's super un-Vulcan-y. And that must be the point, right? He's not a Vulcan. He never has been, really. But it's so, in character for him. And also the fact that the Admiral says nothing. Because she's yelling at an Admiral. Right? And it's also Pike's fault, is not hers. But the fact they understand the power dynamic here, they're like, we will leave.
Yeah.
It works, even though she can't necessarily, she can do it, but it's not her necessarily right to do this as much as any Grand Sorbet. Yeah. I'd love to have heard the conversation, though, when they're out in the corridor. I thought Sorbet was pleasant. As did I.
Well, he said it was satisfactory at the table.
Well, indeed, but now making small talk, right? Would you like to go to our rec room? Yes, we have a silent film. Excellent. Of grass growing. I don't know, in my head, I'm imagining future scenes.
Mm-hmm. Then we get the conversation about the lying. I wish that I was half the human you were, which would be a quarter human.
Yeah, it's a funny line. It's a funny line.
I love human culture. I've studied their music, culture, all that, and in their ancient dialect, it is very cool.
I did note though in this dialogue he does use a contraction. I think there's a can't at one point because that slipped through the script.
They do use it. It's not as bad as Data is supposed to not use contractions at all. Vulcans do sometimes.
It's just odd in the post credit. Literally, he doesn't understand how to do it. So to him use any feels disingenuous. But I felt they just missed that one in the script. Easy to do, right? Easy to do. So I think that's just a pure script error, which is fine. But yeah, the vibe here is great. He now feels a little bit different because of Una, which I liked. Tangible. And Spock is gleaming with, he's being shown respect for a true Vulcan. Oh god, it's everything to him. It's so visible. It's lovely. It's quite heartwarming in its own kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Great.
So they both have water. Good. That's exactly water with lime. Exactly correct. Well, it's sparkling, which is weird.
Maybe it's vodka. You don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, then we get engineering.
Well, science lab, but really it's engineering now. Not really. But
yeah. I know. And yeah, she's they're trying to talk about how manipulative she is and the way to stop her. Just don't want to make her angry. And then Kirk, I want you to reconfigure the weapons codes. It's like, I would, but this isn't my ship. That's what I would say.
I
I'm
have
sure
no access codes.
he's got the rank to do it, I guess. But yeah.
It's got to be situational, right?
Then we hear about her war that she wants to start. Tell the Klingons the Orions are plotting to invade, and tell the Orions that Tholians are behind the plot, and tell the Tholians that the real puppet masters are the Gorn and Gemini. And Kirk's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you do that.
Yeah, that is a very Kirk scene.
Yeah.
He's letting the villain monologue, and he confidently says no because he thinks he can handle her until he gets beaten to whatever.
Why is she so strong?
I mean, he's never fought her, so no, really, really fun scene. It's so fascinating to see the mind of a Romulan, because that's the thing. She's not filtered in the same way. She's been around for one day, basically. So, like, if that's always what they're thinking, give or take, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know that's what she's doing, although she must have a hint she's basically Romulan now. Like, she knows the context. She must thinking, oh damn, I must, that she must know. But it's fun. It's a good scene. Beats him up. I was watching the whole scene to see if Scotty actually like booby traps in the scene. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't. No.
I was hoping he'd like, but meh.
Yep. Then she hits the initiate button and she gets shocked. And did you just set a booby trap? Yeah, I just didn't want to make her angry.
It's a good shout. Yeah.
I like the Scotty actor. I really do. I think he does a really good job.
He's got a broader range than Doohan in terms of he's so much younger, and so he's doing more because Scotty was more professional and like he had what he had perfectly down. This guy's doing more, but you can see how it's going to refine down to who he truly is, kind of thing. These are all compliments, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the thing I have issue with is that Scotty's supposed to be like 11, 12 years older than Kirk in TOS. So this seems like a much
Is he?
younger Scotty. Yeah, he's older than Kirk.
But he's not here, and they're prime timeline.
Oh, they're not.
Oh, okay. I'm going to
Even though
Google
you
that.
keep saying that they are.
Well, if that's true, then it is a fake timeline, and then it instantly because they cannot change that if that's the case. That end of discussion. So it is alternate then.
Small thing. It's just something
Well,
I've been thinking since they introduced Scotty. It's like he looked really young.
I always thought he was 5 to 6 years younger because Captain Commander. So you assume one's
No,
older.
it's just whenever you join this.
No, I just rank wise. Okay, so Kirk was born 2233. Scotty was born 2222. So he's
11 years older. Yeah.
Yeah. Scotty is, yes.
Yes.
So this kid is 11 years older than aging like fine wine. This actor. Okay, how? Because boy, that is not the age range of these two actors.
Yeah. Go vote in the poll, guys. Also hit the like button. We do have 61 likes, which is fantastic considering there's 62 people here. But if you haven't hit it yet, please do so. Keep the super chats coming. If you have anything you want to say or anything that sticks out to you in this episode, throw them in. We do read them.
Okay, Martin Quinn is 31, so I'm 1 year older than him. That's depressing. Who looks older, me or him?
Who's what?
So the actor that plays Scotty is 31, so he's 1 year younger than me. Who looks older, him or me?
You.
Okay.
Barely.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell you're about the same age.
And Paul Wesley, he's got to be like 42, 43. So literally the reverse.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep. Oops. And they feel it. I mean, they feel 10 years apart, but in the wrong way. Anyway, another great shot of the Enterprise. Beautiful. And you know what? Doesn't even look as dirty. Like, it is dirty, but doesn't feel it quite as much, right?
This kind of bothered me when I first saw it. It's like, wow, that was a quick resolution.
Yes. But then
This was a little disappointing.
it keeps going, so
Yes.
it improves itself because it's the situation. If it's that quick to make them Vulcan, it would be that quick to de-Vulcan, right?
Yes.
And I love all the
But
reactions.
convince them with their like I would have liked to see their contra states
Yes.
for all of them and the conversation. That would be like, ah, you're right. We should go
It's
back.
been a long episode though.
Well, I know, but
Yeah,
it would have been nice to see.
but it saves the magic for their reaction is very good, and then seeing Arn's mind pass is also very good. So I get why. And Pike is like, I made bad choices, which is an interesting condemnation on being a Vulcan. That logic alone is not good choice maker.
Well, he also says, "Are all Vulcans monsters?" It's the first thing he says.
Oh,
Like,
hurts.
oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of no offense in this episode because
Yes.
Tully calls Vulcans jerks, and
Hmm.
none taken. Vulcans are jerks.
But this would have been the perfect time for Spock to have said, yes, but on further investigation, you're never truly a Vulcan. Your Vulcan side is being corrupted by a human side. Corrupted? Yes, it changed your emotional state to a way that would
It
never.
over it over amplified everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like that would have been okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are a neat freak, Captain, and when become Vulcan, you became an ultra neat freak, etc. So
And
that
pointed it out to your girlfriend when normally you would just do it behind her back, like fix something that she had cleaned. Yeah.
yeah, so that would have been a really good time to have said that. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
And then Amanda was like, "You might want to get some sleep first." And Chapel's like, "Yeah, sleep."
Because no one can take these things as true offense. It's like, nah, it's fine. I didn't really break up with my friends, it's fine. And then we get the Mind Palace, which you could tell is not a real set, as in it's meant to be fun and fictitious. So I liked that. What's odd is that there are whales, instantly recognizable whales, out of nowhere.
Yeah, not just on the underneath her, but beside her as well. So, is this
Why?
cetacean ops on the Enterprise? Does this bigger Enterprise have cetacean ops? Because the TOS one couldn't. But oh well,
But
it either is or it isn't
all we know is
official.
it's her Mind Palace. I
Yes.
mean, we do know that it is the same set as there was as the science room, but now with more windows. Obviously CG because they don't have windows. There are no windows there, right? But what an odd choice.
Yeah.
I, I like maybe that whale song calms her, or Romulans love whales. I don't know. It's such an like that took money to buy a model of a whale and render it in two different. Why? I don't know. Another little compliment. I like her costume choice because it feels like her dancing dress from earlier, but also feels like the augment costumes from Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And in
Mm-hmm.
this state, she's human, so she's more augment than human. So all that comes really well to me, and I think these scenes are actually very very good across the board. What happens, though, Stuart, in this unusual scene?
It's a fight dance, essentially, and it's really well shot because they go from room to room in her mind palace, and the fighting generally like gradually becomes dancing and then a little bit of mix and then finally just the dance which brings her back and says bring me back. It's her love for Spock and the dance, the love of the dance, like Michael Flatley. He's lord of the dance, but you know
Yes, and because the fight isn't truly fighty, which works. Music
well
is
it's very Vulcan martial arts.
yes, exactly.
She's attacking, he's just deflecting.
Yep.
She's using her own energy
Hmm.
against herself, which is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Music almost a mock time style music, especially at the start. Very
Hmm.
TOS referencing, lovely. I love how they like all different sets. Super cool blue water neon bridge. I'd hate to work on it, but it looks great. Nice choice.
Yeah.
And the spotlight, everything's just really well thought out. And
And all green accents as well. Romulan green.
yeah, oh, dude, 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, a really, really good little scene. And as soon as they get to the quarters, you know what's going to happen. They're dancing. It's all logical. I keep saying that. It's all makes sense. And he says in one of these scenes, you were afraid. You don't want to go back because you're afraid. And if every emotion is bigger, then that was her that morning, right? That's in her brain. She's still got the adrenaline from thinking all this, and then it's being escalated to, I'm afraid of being happy of all the things. But luckily, they don't say it. She doesn't admit it to him. They say it in the scene, context, music. She doesn't actually say, I love you, Spock, whatever. You don't need it for it to be as powerful. And probably removed. Probably been Discovery Season 2, right? If they just said it. I love you, Spock.
Yeah.
I love you too, Laan, Noonien Singh, Augment. Right? So this is really well handled for what this show is.
She would have cried if this was Discovery. Like, please bring me back.
Yeah. No, this is probably my favourite scene. Because it just works on every level for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Really, really good.
Yes. I'm still scrolling through it.
Yeah. And then we get, because they always use the transporter in certain parts, but they say, where haven't we shot for a while? Let's look at the back of the transporter. What's that? Oh, it's
Yeah.
just the blades. Oh, it's just,
Well,
a,
I
it's
get
just a
the
different place.
yeah. I thought he was leaving the ship, like they were done their shore leave,
Just
but
transporter
then
room,
they're
yeah.
like, we still have 5 hours left, so let's go do something. So yeah, again, didn't need this part honestly, but it's fine.
Well, it makes sense. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Like I said, it's just funny to be in a different part of the set that is somewhere different. I kind
Yeah,
of took it as we got 5 hours left.
let's go wing it.
They're just gonna go have sex for 5 hours. That's all I took from it.
I don't think so. I think they're going down to the planet. It's still a first date.
Well, they've run out of the transport room, so probably not.
They could be taking the shuttle down. They could be getting their
I
stuff,
got requisition.
changing their clothes. She's in her uniform.
I mean, that's true, but and I love the end because it's a good payoff, right? Wing it. It makes a lot of sense. I love the little pull at the end. She's like, "Whoa!" Yeah, it's just a nice little scene, well acted overall, and it, because you could be a bit pissy about being mind altered. Would have been now. Okay, this might have been too much, but probably made the episode more. Had he said, "I know I gave consent, but every hour it was wearing off because mind meld wasn't a real mind meld," and actually by the end, I wasn't. I was acting along as if it didn't work because it shouldn't have worked. Right? Would that have been better if he just was playing along for the last 6 hours?
Yeah, it would have been, honestly.
Yeah.
That would have been, yeah. Contextually, I think that would have worked better for me anyway. Because yeah, she should know how to do it and have the skill to do it. So
Yeah, because if a Kotra inside McCoy can't mind meld or whatever, can't even invoke a neck pinch, and that's the joke, right? That would have been funny here, but works either way, just been funnier. And then we get very aggressive dish drying. I know
which
Pike's
is
an
hilarious.
old school guy, but it does feel weird to have plates that you're manually drying with a cloth in pre-TOS. But it's Pike, so it works. But it does feel very,
Just put them in the sonic dishwasher.
which you've literally got 3 of, yeah. But it works for him, right? She's super down home, and he would show it
Yes.
to her.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing to see.
And she gets her call, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll hand in my resignation." She's like, "No, I'm retiring. I'd like you to take my place." So I guess that includes a promotion to admiral.
I wish they'd mentioned that.
I wish they would have too.
It doesn't innately, but boy, if it was going to, they would have said it because that's an admiral, eh? I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, you can decide where you go. You could put your flag on this starship. Whole lot of stuff could have been with that.
Left Pike's reaction. He's like, "Am I a little forgiven now? No, you were still an asshole." But yeah, great scene. Got her moving on, but not because we've seen the trailers where her and Pike are standing in front of that thing. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. I think the gornness is going to come back in at some point. But very satisfactory that because she was blunt with him, he appreciated that as a Vulcan, and that's what got her the promotion. I think that's great. So, let's see. Oh, we have 55 votes on the poll. Can we get 60? Can we get 5 more votes? We have 53 people here. I don't know if you've all voted, so go check if you voted and vote. Because 60 would be a good number to close the poll with.
Vote now. Do it.
or forever hold your vote.
For this episode, yes. But no, it's a good little scene. Ballsy. But yeah, I wish the promotion was dealt more with. A nice out for the character, though. I'd say where it goes. I mean, much better for her career-wise than just being on a Connie again. So, turns out being Gornified was a leg up. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes. Next scene. Oh no, the two boys. It is just something about them. Like, oh no.
I like that. I was early. He was on time.
Yep. But none of it is. Luckily, none of it is. I hate him. We're exes. It's all well played. They can be themselves, but also situational. We know it's kind of fun. They're mature adults here, so I rather like that. I love he actually came back because he didn't have to, and he's quite nice. He comes in, kisses her. Clearly, they made up between. It's nice. Doesn't feel too whatever. Yeah, good little scene. Although silly. Like you could have cut this, and it changed nothing in the story, right?
Well, yeah, like when she apologized and he's like, yeah, it's like nothing ever even happened. I wish he would have put in something like, I'm kind of getting used to that. And look at Spock because it's the Trelane wedding thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, dating you is like dating a whole space adventure.
DUI champ throws in $5.
Thank you.
If Picard can become a 12-year-old, if Riker can become a caveman, then Pike and crew can become Vulcans. He's not wrong. He's really not. But it's just the serum that can be given to anybody. Those are other things were like flukes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12-year-old was a radical transporter malfunction, like through an anomaly of space. So that you can't include because that would be like saying Q can snap you, right? It's a super magical space thing, not just like it's instant and it's remolecularizing. The caveman, that was over a while. He de-evolved through time. It took a while. Like, it could have taken hours and hours and days in the story as his body was readjusting. It wasn't literally 12 seconds. So I know.
But we don't know how long they were on the floor. Could have been 4 hours because that makeup takes a while to put on. So they could have been rolling on the floor in agony for 4 hours while their bodies transformed.
Apart from the space and time relative, right? So I know what you mean, but they always played it better and slower. I don't think there's a single time. The only equivalent to this, I think, this is truly an equivalent, is when they've arched the augment DNA, and it makes his foreheads grow. That was dumb at the time. That was acknowledged to be a bit stupid.
Yeah.
But that's the closest equivalent, I think.
Hypno Ember has to run, but she gives it an 8 out of 10. Oh. So there you go.
And also, it didn't make him human. It didn't make him added some things. It wasn't a true, like, oh, he's a Klingon.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's just whatever. But Plomix Soup, nice reference to everything. I like the. I mean, Corby's a good boyfriend.
He's like, it's hot.
It's true.
I thought he meant spicy, but I think he meant temperature-wise.
That's the only thing he can say. I thought it's because he knew they should be cold, and he's being nice. Like he doesn't know the culture.
Yeah.
But the second time it's even funnier, and he eats. I kind of thought it was gonna be a great soup, and I thought she now learned Vulcan cooking, so it's really bland. And Spock's like, "That is the best thing you've ever made," and Corby thought it was terrible because it's no flavor. That's the way I thought it was gonna be, but universally bad's actually funnier.
Yeah, I'm glad you appreciate my bluntness now because your soup is unsatisfactory. It was great.
Corby's face is like, "You're not meant to tell her."
He's like, oh geez, yeah, because he put it in his mouth. He paused for a second, and Corby was like, it's hot. It's great.
Giving the truth right now.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, this is with anything, right? And you know, we've all potentially got girlfriends, wives, etc. Truth is not necessarily the best policy, right? With your partner. The fact is, though, when she tastes the soup in 10 seconds later, she's going to know it's terrible and look to Corby and say, it was terrible. Why'd you lie to me? Right? So it's actually better Spock to be truthful because then she'll learn it in 5 seconds. Normally in situations, she wouldn't know as bad because she's not able to get, like... But she, like, knows it's terrible. So it's a more well-rounded scene because of that.
But who doesn't try their cooking as they're making it? Like, to just... I don't know.
I have a gut reaction with things sometimes.
Well, yeah, especially if you made it before.
But I've
You
made
don't
it many
have to try
times.
it. But if it's new, I don't know, it's fine.
You know, in this situation, yes, but it'd break the joke for
Yeah.
sure.
I love that there's a replicator there as well. Does say replicator on it.
Oh,
I know, I know, I know.
it certainly looks like one.
Well, it says, literally says replicator.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Oh.
Let's see. Go back. I think it's when they first come in. Yeah, replicator when she's pouring the soup.
Uh,
It's fine. DUI champ, $5. It's just that what sciencey BS you choose to accept. Agreed. Yes, it is fine. Oh, Olivia is back with $2.
who?
Oh God, I found a way to turn
Who?
back.
Olivia Colman, the actress, is here? What?
Oh, Julius, you know.
Oh, the Judas class. Oh, I've heard of that. You know, it's funny. That means if they had replicators and were fully accepted as canon, they got uninstalled from everyone's rooms. Right? Because there ain't no... We've been in those quarters. There's no replicators in those sets, which they were deinstalled.
This might not be her room. It kind of looks like it might be a food preparation area that she asked them to meet her at because it doesn't have like the warmth of the other rooms that we've seen. Doesn't really matter, but yeah.
I think it's just like it's the same set, of course, but I assume it's just Uhura's room, middle of the set decoration. They just cut some stuff out because yeah, there's nothing really in there that's like, oh, that's her room. Either way, it's weird, right? And then we get to a mirror of the first scene. Oddly, the same scene, given they said like it's been one day and they're already back to this. It's like, oh, okay. Wearing a bit of a different costume, you know, as they're discussing things and bobs. And apparently, Alan's got a brain in a glass. Goodness.
I think that's probably a frozen grape.
Ooh, space gray.
That doesn't dilute your drink when it melts.
Mm. Didn't they have food slots in TOS? Yes, in the mess hall, and they were not replicas. They were bringing pre-made meals up. They weren't making it. They were bringing it.
Not true.
Oh.
Because in the children's she'll lead, there's little discs with different flavored ice creams, and she puts a few in and pulls out different flavored ice creams.
They say the other thing as well, though.
No, it's always just put the thing in and the door opens and there's your meal.
So is a replicator then. That's why are we complaining then?
Because they're not in the mess hall unless they are in the mess hall in this one.
There you go.
And they're not labeled replicator with a nice little display that you can like. Anyway, it's fine. The only place that there's food delivered is Enterprise. Yeah. Anywho's. And Star Trek 6, where they're in the Cali, and Charlie X, where they say, if they got to eat synthetic meatloaf, I want it to look like turkeys.
Yes. But yes, they talk about things, and now they've obviously don't punch Kirk unless he deserves it. Why do you really not want to go there? Oh, because, you know, I love the guy, kind of, as in for Doug. And Spock socks.
Are we drawer people now?
Which is a really fun way of doing that. And it's I think you could really resonate with it as a couple in people. But I find it very bold of Spock after like a month to decide I stay with her enough that I need to pull out things from one of her drawers, add my own elements, and then not tell her.
Yeah.
Because I assume space is either limited or you have possessions, therefore there's not going to be spare drawers in her room. So I find it really intense from Spock to do that without telling her. So it's not necessarily a Spockism, but, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and she gets super happy because he walks in and don't wait out for me.
They're gonna go crazy. I love his little wave. It's very un-Vulcan, but he's like, yeah, he's trying to be.
Yeah.
And what a great little set costume decoration. Just don't know. I spent $6K making that for some reason. It was great. Whatever, it's fine. Hope he comes back. He earned a second appearance. There are very few second guest appearances in Strange Worlds, so maybe not.
Yeah. And then we get Kirk and Scotty commiserating, talking about scotch, and Scotty's like, I get used to this because a few episodes ago he was like, oh, I never touched the stuff.
Or it's funny, the one that beat him up is right to the side. There's a small note panning from, it's like this
Oh
bruise
yeah,
is
yeah,
from Laan, right there. I see it. In my peripheral vision. Yeah, I mean, it is funny, the booze evolution, but it makes sense. If
yeah,
he's such a higher rank is Kirk, right? Commander to a lieutenant in this,
yeah.
and I guess he's so impressive being 10 years older yet 3 ranks higher. 2 ranks higher. It, yeah, but it definitely feels like a younger brother vibe or like cousin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Building something. But did you think we're going to end on kind of TOS prequel scene of all scenes?
No, we didn't because there's still more to see.
Well, we ended, but we post-credited.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's gentle. It's
I like we make a good team. It's like I'm gonna want you on my crew, and I get my own ship.
some ship someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only we could know what ship it is and not be sitting on it right now.
And if only I knew that I was going to forcibly remove all this fun bullshit around me and make it very simple and, replicates out of all the quarters and my quarters will be 1/10 the size of Pike's. So someday I'll build those quarters for the Strange Worlds Enterprise and I will like put them side by side. Yeah. And I'll be like, oh my god, it's less than the size of. It would be funny though to like hire someone and do like a deep fake of Shatner, have him walk into the Strange Worlds quarters, and then like cut to someone else saying, "Oh, Captain Kirk's ordered his quarters be reduced in size for 1/10. Why is that? They're too big." That's the whole short. It's like, oh, yep,
Yeah.
too big. Much better.
Olivia Julius, $5. I wonder how Carol Marcus is doing since she was name dropped already in Strange New Worlds. # justice for Carol.
Doing fine. She's probably also sciencing.
Yes.
But I would like
So
to
that's
see
the end of the episode officially.
And there's a lot of credits between this because I literally was on my phone talking to Marie and then suddenly started talking again. It wasn't like one credit.
Yeah.
It was like
I noticed how much time was left, and I'm like, there's got to be something, so I scrolled.
Because I think most people would not catch this, to be honest. So it was quite a
Most people didn't. Most people didn't. Yeah. Or if they got this, they didn't notice that the intro was also changed.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't notice that till my second view. Because I just usually skip the intro.
Yeah.
Apparently they added the butterfly creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, what do you think of the post-credit scene after you talk about people?
It's hilarious. I think I don't know if this was this meant to be in the episode at some point, and they just kind of there's so much good stuff that they just like we'll put it here because the way it ends, that's a genuine smile from Ethan Peck.
That's not a soft smile.
No, but there's some really good stuff here. Like it is. Make it shorter. It is.
Oh yes.
It's like there's some really good stuff here. I really enjoyed it. It just felt like two actors having fun. Like this was all unscripted, but at the same time, it's so good that it almost feels like it's scripted.
Yeah, my sense is that it was never in the episode because it doesn't have a place in the episode, but it was a case of we've got an idea. It'll be during this day of shooting. If we've got enough time, we've got like 5 setups, and you just do the scene in character. Like the start and the end of the scene.
You improv, yeah.
But the middle, right? So it's a structured improv because they can't go far outside the box. Because writing that would both be really easy and also not as creative as it could be. But just playing, because personally, this guy's going to Google humans. He's not going to not know what Christmas is. He's not going to know.
Well, he's been birthdays. Yeah, he's been studying humans. That's his thing.
He does know they sleep 8 hours. Are you joking?
Yeah.
So, but if they're not Trek fans, they might think that's funny. So I could see that being because you can't write that. That's illogical beyond belief. Of course, he knows humans sleep. Most alien races sleep. He dated Una. He probably slept in her bed. He saw she slept.
Yes.
So it's it's nonsensical stuff. But in the context of this, it's funny.
But she's not a human, though.
No, she is a human. She's a human augmented, which is a subspecies.
That's true.
But you're right. We're both right. But she does sleep, probably.
DUI champ, $5. Kirk knows what he wants. He's a master chess player. He's moving his pieces in place. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good. Good way of saying it. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah. Damn. Okay, guys. Put in your final score super chats. We love this bit because it gives you a real sense of the score. Stuart, read those. Are either non-super chats? We'd love to get $15. That's 3 super chat scores. That's not a lot. Or 110 if you want to be generous. Or what's that? 7 fives. Whatever. Help us out. We need a little bit more to be good. Vote in the poll as well. We have 58 votes. Easily get 60, so consider voting. Don't think we're going to change how that works as a poll, but we'll get a more distinct vibe for the answer. So vote now. So Stuart, the big question, as we always ask, what do you now think of this episode, and has it changed after our 2-hour and 10-minute discussion, which has been pretty darn in-depth?
I still really enjoy it. It hasn't changed my opinion of the episode. It's a fun episode. If it makes me smile, I'm all for it. This was a well performed episode of Star Trek, or just entertainment in general. And it was fun to see the people having fun playing the roles, kind of against type. Uh, our discussion, there are a few things here and there that people have brought up and that obviously don't make sense, and that's fine, but they're easily kind of either A, answered, or B, glazed over because you need to just get on with the story. So I don't have a lot of issue with that, which sometimes I do, but not in this instance because it's just a fun episode. If it was more serious, then I might be more seriously bothered by things. But it was just to have some fun, and I think they definitely delivered that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. Do I care? I could be I could play devil's advocate and, talk both sides of the fence on that one, whether it's scientifically breaking canon or whatever, or just have fun and enjoy it. So either way, I'm fine. I think the episode's really great. Everybody got a chance to shine, including Pelia. And Benga was very likable in this episode.
He was there.
Yes. I wish Sam Kirk would have been in it, but then we wouldn't quite have had these Scotty. Well, actually, we would have fed up the three of them. Um, you know, James Kirk and Sam and Scotty were hanging out together, but we need more Sam. Let's be honest. Sams are great generally. Even that Samantha lady that was here earlier, she's all right too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, I enjoy it as much as I did going in.
And briefly, not to, I am obviously cutting off. Have the people's feedback potentially pointing out the things, have that changed your opinion at all? Because people had some serious.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit here and there, but I think it more solidifies my original take on it, that it's just for fun. So, and usually I take Star Trek a little more seriously, but these fun episodes are meant to be that.
Well, it also helps there's no ship canon. There's nothing that we can gravitate towards specifically, and therefore it's more surface level for us.
Except for Cetacean Ops. Does it exist on this Enterprise? I think it might. Who knows?
Try and
could just be her mind
ship.
palace.
Yeah.
I get it, but
again, ambiguous Stranger Worlds. You give us both answers. God damn it.
Yeah, they're very good at that.
Very good at that.
So no, I really enjoy it. I did enjoy the discussion. I always do. I love everybody's input from the chats, and even my first reaction last night. I just appreciate other people's points of view on things. So, but a lot of times when they like drill down on the exact opposite of what I'm doing, I'll ramp it up to just solidify that I love it even more. So it's one of those strange occurrences. So yeah, nothing really changed my mind about this episode during this talk.
And now your scores for all of Stranger Worlds and for personal enjoyment.
For personal enjoyment, it's going to be a 9.1. I really enjoyed the hell out of this. Definitely would watch if it's just on randomly. I will sit and watch the whole thing. For all of Strange New Worlds, it's also up there, but not quite that high. For Strange New Worlds, I give it an 8.7 out of 10. Yeah, the show's kind of firing on all cylinders. It knows its characters. We're getting.
It's just funny. So many people I've read in the comments various things saying like they've really let themselves down this year. It's the worst season. What happened to Stranger Worlds? They've lost it. The exact. I mean, obviously, feel how you want to feel. That's all good. It's so funny. The exact opposite in so many people's sentiments about the season as general. So interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the backlash for this season because the season's been pretty great overall. But anyway, yeah, those are my scores, and looking forward to reading some super chat scores,
If any
which there
come
are none
in,
of at
yeah,
the moment. Okay, well there you go.
put in your
We need one
scores.
more vote on the poll,
Yes.
so I'll let Sam do his ramble. If
Oh,
anybody wants to super chat in a score, I will read those when he's done, and then we'll get to the scores in the regular chat here. So,
yeah, close that in a strong way, guys. A couple of doors would be absolute tremendous
oh,
extra.
we got 60 votes. Let's close it.
Ah, brilliant. Go for it.
Did the becoming Vulcan logic work, the science of it, or whatnot? What overall did it for you? No wins with 55%, 45% for yes. So
Hmm.
it's actually way closer than I thought it was going to be
Yep.
when he first put it up. So
I was picturing an easy 90s for
yeah,
no.
that was two for a no. Yeah,
Huh.
there you go.
There you go.
All right, Sam,
Hello.
did you enjoy this episode? And has our
No,
discussion
her name's
and
Livia.
that of our fine community changed your mind at all during these last 2 hours?
I mean, in the sense that I'm gonna give it a lower score because if the fundamental story doesn't has big problems, then I can't, in good conscience, overtop that with because it's fun. Otherwise, that would make JJ stronger. But the story, like, get that stuff right first. So it will get a lower score because of that. Because it can't be called for me the top because it's failing at a major thing. With only a few more dialogue choices would have changed it, but that's there for doing that problem, right? So that will be in the score. Fun
Yep.
episode. Does a lot of good stuff. Does a lot of good character work. A lot of good little moments, tiny moments. It's very much an episode of let's write 27 small scenes and edit them together.
Yeah.
But you know what? I love bottle shows. I love character based shows. I love using the sets in slightly different ways. All of that was done here. Loads of good lines. Did they misunderstand Vulcans? Kind of. Blair. Costume is great. Makeup's great. Romulan stuff was truly excellent. Could have done. Like, there's no cherry on the top, obviously. This is not a cherry cake, right? Fine. But I'm happy with a gentle, delicious chocolate cake that not doing anything special that's still tasty, right? For
Mhm.
me, had they had a moment, would have been slightly different, obviously, if Laan had, if it was more in her perspective. So we'd had a scene where she's in whatever room and she says, if I was me now, I would put a cloaked Romulan base here. She finds it, talks to them, and then does a thing. Because that's how her brain works. That would have elevated for me, seeing something else, but that would have been more complicated. Fine. But yeah, well, it's a good episode, fun, very little bad, and good little use of canon, great ensemble cast. They really brought stuff in. Pele's on crack, Pike's doing some weird thing, but it all comes together very well. Or at least there's so many scattergun things that even if some are like a 3 or a 4 or 5, so many elements are a 9 or an 8, that it all averages out really well. And it does not feel 54 minutes. This thing rolls through, right? Lovely. Every scene's interesting. Yeah, really unique episode. And I didn't need that much comedy this season, but I'm happy with it. Score wise, for enjoyment, again, I'm lowering it because it made a fatal error in the main plot. So you can't give it, for me, that higher score compared to some other ones this season that don't do that right. But enjoyment, it's still, gosh, 8.3. So, right? Not radically removed from that, but it can't hit 9s for me because that's the other layer. All Stranger Worlds. I don't want to say it, but there's a lot of better episodes. I'm going to say 7.5 just because there's a lot of better episodes. But that's not a bad 7.5. That's I'm thinking of the better ones. Better ones. Yeah. 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 Tricky one to score.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, we got one super chat score from Olivia
Oh.
Julius with $2. She says 4.5 Sams out of 5.
Okay. 9 out of 10.
4.5 Sams. Yep.
Marco, sorry guys, I usually agree with you, but I have really big problems with this one. At best 3 or 4 out of 10, although that's just my opinion. I'm glad to hear different ones. Marco, what would you do the first episode? Because I think we both gave that a 3 or a 4 because of how
Yeah,
bad
the
that.
first wasn't that great.
Okay, 6 and well, 6, 6, and 6.3 and 4 for main and whatever. So I get a 4 for All Strange Worlds. So that one for me is easily the worst of the season by an absolute mile. So that's the only thing with the first one. But come on, Marcos, better than Discovery Season 1, right? And low bar.
No, it isn't.
This one. Alright, so non-super chat scores. Interested to see what you guys think. We've got Anton 7 out of 10. Michael, while it may not be the purest best Trek, this is so enjoyable and fun. 10 out of 10. Damn! Aussie 8.9 and the mum gives it 9. Okay, pretty high. Donnie only gives it a 6 apparently via Aussie, so he hates it. Basilo 8 out of 10. Stanley 7.5. D6. Mr. Captain 8. DY 8. Joseph 8.5. Very stupid, but in the best and funniest ways.
That's kind of my summation, yeah.
Yeah. Scottish Nightmare 4.5 Vulcan, so 9 out of 10. Devereaux 8. Okay, so some really high scores there, guys. That's really interesting.
I think Scottish Nightmare is giving it 4.5 out of 10.
Oh.
Because he's been very vocal that he didn't really enjoy the episode.
Oh, sorry. I altered it to 5. Oh, Matt, 7 to 10. 7 to 10 for me. Love Pike as a Vulcan, found him funny. Interactions in the 4 Vulcans were good. The story was poor.
I think he said 7 out of 10.
Ah, okay, thank you. And Scottish Nightmare, way better than the boring episode last week. It wasn't boring at all. It was so interesting and dynamic. And I just like dogs, I guess. Make dogs.
Marco said, yeah, the first one was also a low score from him.
Okay, cool.
And anything is better than Disco.
Good stuff. That's all we have.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a good discussion. They always are. You guys are awesome. We love you guys. It still staggers me how this season is just dividing everybody as far as the episodes. I mean, that means it's good media. It's doing its job. It's making people talk. So,
but luckily, we both lost 2 on the same page, because that would have been far more contentious if one of us hated and one of us loved it, because we've had that occasionally. And then it ironically swapped the week after. I remember we had for Discovery, both loved it and then swapped.
Yeah.
I was like, this is weird. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So few. But also we have our own reasons for loving both. Which is interesting.
But thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you. Check out our content on the weekend. And of course, join us back here next week for all the lives that we do.
Exactly.
And make sure you subscribe, do all things. And until next time, he's Commander Cockins.
He's Commander Foley.
And we are not Vulcans. Because that's stupid.
Excellent. Bye, guys.